Good morning and welcome back to Ponds Forge International Sports Centre. This is day 3 of the Swim England North East Open and Youth Regional Championships. I'm your commentator Jay Manners, been here all weekend. We've got another exciting heat session for you this morning, followed by an afternoon session 5B. Then, of course, we've got our final session later this evening. Swimmers will be looking to qualify from the heats this morning into our finals. We have 2 sets of finals. We have a 16 years and under final and an open age group final. So in that open age group, anybody is eligible to compete in that open final. If there are any 16 years and under in the open final, they will get priority of our youth medals. And of course, we will crown our Open Regional Champion in the Open Finals. We are very excited to have RISE Sport Welfare staff back at our event again. There'll be an opportunity for any of coaches, team staff, parents, officials, volunteers to go and say hello to them today. But as always, for the last couple of days, we are going to start with the relay event. It will be event 301, the Open Male 14 to 16 years 800 metre freestyle team event. Clubs and teams are looking to qualify for the Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships. All regional competitions up and down the country will be competing in relays in order to qualify in the summer. As well as the relay events. This is the last couple of weekends of racing for the qualification period to qualify for the Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships or the Swim England National Summer Meet. We've seen a lot of swimmers racing in multiple events. Great to see the versatility from a lot of these swimmers, competing in a wide range of events, distance, middle distance and sprint. But it looks like we are about to get underway now. Going to start with event 301, the Open Male 14-16 years 800 metre freestyle team relay. So we just have the one heat in this event. We have in lane 0 is the City Elite C team, lane 1 Newcastle B team, lane 2 Kingston upon Hull, lane 3 Newcastle, lane 4 the City of Sheffield, lane 5 Northumberland Durham Performance, lane 6 Northumberland Durham Performance B team, lane 7 the City Leeds, and in lane 8 the City Leeds B team. Fastest entrant is the City of Sheffield on an entry time of 8 minutes 00. So they'll be looking to average 2 minutes or under on each of the quartet. First is Newcastle, followed by the City of Sheffield. Third, Northumberland Durham Performance. Very interesting, the 4x200 freestyle relay. A lot of strategies in play. If you're a swimmer fan like myself, our country is absolutely fantastic in this event. I believe we are the only country to have double Olympic champions in the 4x200 freestyle in 2 consecutive Olympic Games. So Tokyo 2021 and Paris 2024, the same quartet winning gold. So that is the likes of Matthew Richards, James Guy, Duncan Scott, and Tom Dean. So these athletes are looking for exactly the same type of game plan, looking to qualify their clubs and their teams for the Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships. First lead off was Newcastle in front, followed by the City Sheffield, and then Northumberland Durham Performance in third. In the 4x200 freestyle relay, it can give you that adrenaline boost knowing that your team is in first, but you gotta remember it is a 200-meter distance, so you don't want to go out too quickly on that first 100 because you've still got another 100 meters to go. Still got to treat it exactly to your game plan as well as the team's game plan. And the City Sheffield swimmer here going really, really strong. They were behind after the first leg, and now he's a body length or so ahead of Newcastle, holding 30.7 splits from the second and third 50 there. And he's looking really strong, heading towards the last 25 meters. Newcastle currently in second, Northumberland Durham Performance in third. Last 5 meters to go. And it will be the City Sheffield touching first, followed by Newcastle, then Northumberland Durham Performance. City of Sheffield overall time there was 3:55, so they are on course to break the magic 8 minutes, meaning that all 4 swimmers looking to go on average 2 minutes or under per 200 meters. Again, massive barriers have been broken at these regional championships. We've seen some fantastic racing so far. A lot of these swimmers have done plenty of races beforehand, and they're coming in this morning to do the 4x200 freestyle relay. But it is the City of Sheffield currently in first position. Second is still Newcastle. Third, not too far behind, is Northumberland Durham Performance. Fourth is a good battle between Kingston upon Hull and the City of Leeds in lane 7. Sixth, Northumberland Durham Performance B team. We now look in a command and lead by the City of Sheffield. They really went strong from the start. Got 25 meters to go now for the City of Sheffield, but a great battle for second place at this moment in time between Newcastle and Northumberland Durham Performance. For the final leg now, City of Sheffield 5:55.54 at the 600 meter mark. Who's going to get the touch here? Newcastle, closely followed behind Northumberland Durham Performance for second and third. So it's going to be a great battle between these two. Behind the City of Sheffield, also having another great battle for fourth place, is Kingston upon Hull and the City of Leeds team. Remember, you don't want to go out too strong on that first 50 because you've still got another 350s after. These swimmers will be looking to have safe relay takeovers as well. As I mentioned at the start of this race, swimmers will not only be looking to be our regional champion, and medalists, but also looking to qualify for the Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships. Second is Newcastle, followed by Northumberland Durham Performance. Northumberland Durham Performance combined clubs, giving these swimmers opportunities to race in these relay events. But it is the City of Sheffield on this last 15, Newcastle second, Northumberland Durham Performance in third. But again, a great battle for that fourth position. It's still currently the City leads. Kingston upon Hull, and now in the pictures Northumberland Durham Performance B team. But it will be the City of Sheffield that does get the touch. 7:59.16 under that 8-minute barrier, a great barrier to get under there. Second was Newcastle Swim Team, 8:06.65. Third does go to Northumberland Durham Performance, 8:09.40. We'll just wait for the confirmation of result, and they will be your top three. A lot of these swimmers will be racing in individual events later on in this morning's heat session, and also in the afternoon. Fourth there was the City leads. Fifth, Kingston upon Hull. Sixth, Northumberland Durham Performance B team. Seventh, Newcastle B. Eighth, City leads B. We will have to wait and find out if these teams qualify for the Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships. We still have the City lead C team coming in towards the wall now. Last 5 metres to go. Good discipline, head down last 5 metres after 200 metres, and they do finish with a time of 9:04.95. Well done, swimmers. Fingers crossed you have qualified your team for the Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships. We'll not find that out in the next week or so, but we now move straight on to event 302, the open male 17 years and over 800 metres freestyle team. We're now well underway for this next event. Again, there is only one heat in this event. 7 teams competing, looking to qualify for Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships. In lane 1, we have Newcastle B team. Lane 2, Tadcaster. Lane 3, the City Leeds B team. Lane 4, City Sheffield. Lane 5, the City Leeds. Lane 6, Newcastle. And lane 7, Northumberland Durham Performance. Fastest entrant is the City of Sheffield, 7:40.00. So these swimmers will be looking to average 1:55 or quicker per 200. Currently out in first is the City Sheffield. Second, Newcastle. Third is the City Leeds. Again, a lot of tactics on show here. All of these teams will have discussed with their coaches on what the order is for the relay, and it's going to be a very close finish here for the first 200, but it is Newcastle that gets it, 1:54.8, City Leeds 1:54.9, and City Sheffield 1:55.2. So very close first 200 metres there by them 3 teams. Fourth was Northumberland Durham Performance. Fifth in lane 2, Tadcaster. But again, very even for the first three teams here. Newcastle do get the touch first after the first 50. Again, you will see these older swimmers trying to go on each other's wave. That's why you can see the City lead swimmer is next to the lane rope of the Newcastle swimmer to see if he can get any type of draft there. That will help him have that easy speed and able to attack the last 50 meters, giving him enough energy, saving that energy to finish really strong. At this moment in time, it still looks as though it is Newcastle in front. City leads second, City Sheffield in third. And it is 30.8 there between Newcastle and City Leeds. Great underwater by the City Leeds swimmer there. City Sheffield in third, Northumberland Durham Performance in fourth, Tadcaster fifth. Great battle now between the Newcastle swimmer and the City Leeds swimmer here with 15 meters to go. Mentioned before, the City Leeds swimmer managed to save enough energy for that last 50 to finish home strongly, and he does touch first. 351.8 to 352.3 overall at 400 meters. Straight in now to the third swimmer of this relay. City Sheffield in third, Northumberland Durham Performance in fourth, Tadcaster fifth, City Leeds B team sixth, Newcastle B team in seventh. Not just about medals here, is also all about qualifying their club or their team at the Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships in the summer. So can't exactly hold anything back because we don't know what other relay teams are doing in their respective regions. They will find out in a week or so if their team has qualified in the relay events. On day one, we had the 400 meter medley team. On Sunday, we had the 400 meter freestyle team. Now this morning, the 800 meter freestyle. This is a heat declared winner event. But City Leeds out really, really strong now, extending that lead that the second swimmer created. Third swimmer here using that to his advantage, pushing really strong in this last 25 meters. Newcastle still in second. Third is City Sheffield, so they're your top three at this moment in time. Northumberland Durham Performance in fourth, Tadcaster fifth, but it is the City Leeds. 5:46.75 there. Second is Newcastle. Third, City Sheffield. All the top three teams well under 2 minute per 200 pace. We will certainly find out what the overall time is, but the City Leeds swimmer on this fourth leg, going really strongly on that first 50, not holding anything back here. Still the Newcastle team in second, third City Sheffield. Fourth now has changed. It is Tadcaster. Fifth, Northumberland Durham Performance. 30.0 split there for the City Lead swimmer on that second 50. Second, 29.7 split from Newcastle, but a 29.1 split from the City Sheffield, so they are gaining ground on Newcastle. But it is the City Lead swimmer out in front. They were very level after that first leg. Then it changed the lead on the second swimmer. Third swimmer use that lead to really drive that distance forward the rest of the field. But it is the City of Sheffield in second, 30.3 split there. Newcastle 31.7 split on that third 50. Fourth, Tadcaster 30.8. But coming in towards the wall, 5 meters to go, will be the City lead swimmer. Head down, last 5 in a time of 7:45.69. Great effort by the City leads. Second is the City of Sheffield, 7:50.27. A very good time as well. Newcastle 7:55.11. In third, fourth will be Tadcaster under 8 minutes, 7:58.46. Northumberland Durham Performance coming in fifth, 8:03.98. Coming into sixth now is the City Leeds B team, 8:16.03. And coming in to finish in seventh, the Newcastle B team, 8:26.25. Fingers crossed these teams have done enough to qualify for the Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships for the summer. Now move on to event 303, the female 14 to 16 years 800 metre freestyle team event. We have a full heat. There is only just one heat, but there is no lane 1, unfortunately. In lane 0 we have City Leeds B team, and lane 2 Northumberland Durham Performance B. Lane 3 City Sheffield, lane 4 Northumberland Durham Performance, lane 5 Newcastle, lane 6 the City Leeds, lane 7 Newcastle B team, lane 8 Richmond Dales, lane 9 the City Leeds C team. But it is Newcastle taking it out really strong on the first 50. Second, Northumberland Durham Performance. Third, City of Sheffield. Again, swimmers will be looking in this first leg to post a really good time, because the time that they do going out first can count for a lifetime best. Newcastle swimmer out in 59.3 there. Northumberland Durham Performance swimmer in a comfortable second. City of Sheffield in third. There will be Newcastle that is still in front after the third 50 metres. 32.3 split, 32.7 by the Northumberland Durham Performance swimmer. 33.4 split by the City of Sheffield. They're your 1, 2, 3 at this moment in time, but again, this can all change in the 4x200 freestyle. It's still a lengthy race, but an exciting race nonetheless. But it is the Newcastle swimmer touches first, 2:04.21. Second, Northumberland Durham Performance, 2:06.6. Third, City Sheffield, 2:08.6. City Leeds in fourth, 2:11.6. Fifth, Richmond Dales. Sixth, Northumberland Durham Performance B team. Seventh, Newcastle B team. Eighth, City Leeds B team. Ninth is the City Leeds C team after that first 200 metres. Again, on these freestyle races, swimmers will know exactly where each other are. Fastest entrant is Northumberland Durham Performance. And they have caught up to Newcastle here. Who is turning first is Northumberland Durham Performance. 32.3 split on that second 50. 34.2 split from the Newcastle swimmer. Third, City of Sheffield. But City of Leeds are catching up to the City of Sheffield. 32.4 split by the City leads. Northumberland Durham Performance swimmer pulling away from the Newcastle swimmer. Again, the female 4x200 freestyle team becoming really strong in our country. Top athletes in our country looking to medal at this summer's World Championships in Singapore. Swimmers here will be using that as inspiration to post a really good time to qualify for the Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships. But it is the Northumberland Durham Performance swimmer that will touch first. Second, Newcastle. Third is now the City leads. Fourth, City Sheffield. Now, if you know that your team is catching up to the swimmer in front, you can't get too excited too early on that first 50, because that last 50 could very well be painful. So you got to control your nerves, control that adrenaline rush to make sure that you finish really strong at the end of your 200-meter race. Northumberland Durham Performance swimmer still out in front by a couple of body lengths or so. Newcastle still in second. Third, City leads. Fourth, City Sheffield. So it is a very close battle between these four teams. Anything can happen. There's still 300 meters left to go in this 800 meter freestyle team event. Northumberland Durham Performance swimmer breathing bilaterally, so that means they breathe to both sides. So she knows exactly where the rest of the field are, both to her right and to her left. As she turns now for the final 50 of her leg. Swimmers 35 splits on that third 50. But the City Sheffield swimmer went a 34.4 split there. Fastest split out of these four swimmers. So the City Sheffield are making ground again. It's going to be a really close battle going into the final 200 meters now. See teammates supporting them from the side. We're now into the final leg of this 4x200 freestyle. All four of these swimmers are going out really, really strong on this first 50. Let's hope they have enough for that final 50 to carry that momentum they have built up from the first 50. You could see swimmers here who are 100 meter specialists maybe, or they like the 400 meters and up distances, coming down to the 200. But again, these girls, 14 and 16, will be doing a lot of different events, as we've saw throughout these championships, which is fantastic to see. Showing that versatility and doing whatever they can for their relay team this morning. Out in first is still Northumberland Durham Performance, but the City Sheffield swimmer looks as though that she is catching up to the Northumberland Durham Performance swimmer. Third now, City leads. Fourth is Newcastle. Northumberland Durham Performance is breathing towards the City Sheffield swimmer. The City Sheffield swimmer breathing towards the Northumberland Durham Performance swimmer, so they know exactly where they are, heading towards the diving pit end. But they will probably breathe away from each other now for the final 50 of this event. City Sheffield now out in front. Second, Northumberland Durham Performance. Third is the City leads. Fourth, not too far away though, is Newcastle, so it's going to be a very close battle for these top 4 teams. Who has got enough now for the last 15 metres? Need to dig really deep now. Who is going to be our regional champion and medalist? It's going to be really close at the wall, but it is City Sheffield. Who's going to get second and third? And it will be the City of Leeds, followed by Newcastle there. 8:41.46 is the winning time by the City of Sheffield. Second, the City of Leeds, 8:43.79. Third, 8:43.87. Fourth was Northumberland Down Performance, 8:44.31. In fifth place there, Northumberland Down Performance B team, 9:04.50. Always that was an exciting race there to conclude event 303. Touching in 6th, Richmond Dales, 9:21.24. Close battle there between 7th and 8th position. Newcastle B team got the touch though, 9:24.29. 8th, 9:24.53 by the City Leeds B team. City Leeds C team in 9th position there, 9:33.31. But there are your confirmed results for the top 3 teams there. They will be your medalists at our regional championships. But again, all 9 of these teams can be very much eligible to compete for the Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships in the summer. We will not find out the result of that until a week or so. As we move on now to event 304, the female 17 years and over 800 metre freestyle team event. We only have 3 teams in this one. Battle between Lane 3, Northumberland Down Performance, Lane 4 City Leeds and Lane 5 City Sheffield. So these will be the regional medalists, since they are only 3 teams in this one. All going well, of course. But at this moment in time, it does look as though that the City Leeds are out in front. Second, City of Sheffield. Third, Northumberland Down Performance. 59.2, opening 100, followed by 59.9, 101.9 third. Again, you will see a lot of different tactics through this 4x200 freestyle. Do teams like to front end their relays, so out really strong, or work the middle 400 meters, or build up to a very fast finish. It does look as though the City Leeds swimmer with 25 meters to go is out in front. Stroke rate really high, coming towards the finish, extending her lead ahead of City of Sheffield. Third is Northumberland Down Performance. As we touch now, for the City Leeds swimmer, 2:02.36. Great first 200 metres there. 2:04.88 for the City of Sheffield. 2:08.12 for Northumberland Down Performance. There you go, 1, 2, 3. This is the final relay event of our regional championships. We then move straight on to the individual events where swimmers will be looking to qualify for this evening's finals in session 6. The City Leeds out very strong indeed. A good opportunity now to say, if you would like me to mention, give a shout out on the live stream, please use the hashtag SENERLC25. So that is hashtag Sierra Echo November Echo Romeo Lima Charlie 25. Knowing the phonetic alphabet paying off there. But back to the racing now. City lead swimmer approaching the last 50 metres. City Sheffield still in second place. Third is Northumberland Down Performance. Again, these swimmers finishing off really strong on this final 50. They want to post a really good time to set themselves up well for the Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships in the summer. Swimmers will be having busy schedules there. First, touching in time of 4:06.42 is the City lead. Second, 4:11.18 from the City Sheffield, 4:15.62 from Northumberland and Durham Performance. City leads on track to be under 8 minutes and 30 seconds. They were entered on 8:25.00. City Sheffield were entered on 8:30.00, and Northumberland Down Performance entered on 8:35.00. Sea swimmers were entered on estimated times by their clubs, roughly averaging what they think their athletes can do per 200 metres. But it is the City leads out in front still. Second, City Sheffield, Northumberland Down Performance in third. As we approach the final 50 of this third swimmer. 33.3 split there. To a 33.4 split by the City Sheffield. But it does certainly look like City leads going to take the victory on this one as they approach the final swimmer of this event. 6:14.43 at the 600 metre mark. 6:19.07. So in order for the City leads to beat their entry time, this swimmer will need to go 2:10 or quicker. But from what we've seen from the previous swimmers before, they are certainly on track to go faster than that 8:25 estimated mark. Northumberland Down Performance now with their final swimmer in the water. Swimmers out in front. Unilateral breathers, so they are only breathing to the left-hand side at this moment in time. So the City lead swimmer will breathe towards where the City Sheffield swimmer is, but the City Sheffield swimmer does not know where the City lead swimmer heading towards the dive pit end, but they will know as they head to the final 50. Northumberland Down Performance swimmer turning there with the 33.0 split on that second 50. As we look out in front is the City leads. Turning now for the final time, as well as the City Sheffield swimmer. 33.6 split by the City leads, 33.3 split by the City Sheffield. .5 split by the Northumberland Down Performance swimmer. But with 15 metres to go now, will be the City leads that will become our regional champions of this event. They touch in a time of 8:22.94, faster than their entry time there. City of Sheffield second, 8:26.53, also inside of their entry time. So great efforts there by our top two. Now we have the Northumberland Durham Performance Summit. Head down, last 5 metres into the wall in a time of 8:41.95. And they're your confirmed results. They will be your regional medalists, but the City Leeds will be your regional champions in this event. Fingers crossed all 3 teams there will qualify for the Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships in this event. Again, they will find that out in around a week or so. We now move on to the individual races. We've got a lot of 50-metre races in store for you today. Event 305 is the open male 50-metre butterfly. In heat number 1, we have 4 of our para-athletes in lanes 0, 1, 7 and 8. They are all in the S14 classification, so S14 is for the intellectual impairment. S1, S10 is physical impairment. S11 to 13 is visual impairment. But we're well underway now. In heat number 1 in lane 0 we have Thomas, lane 1 Harvey, lane 2 Tom, lane 3 Harry, lane 4 Alfie, lane 5 Oliver, lane 6 Geffen, lane 7 Lucas, and in lane 8 William. And it is a line of swimmers at the front between lanes 2 to 6. Who's going to get the touch here? It is Oliver Brown from Northumberland Durham Performance, 29.00. Alfie Young in second, 29.28. Third, Tom Robinson. Let's have a look to see how our para-athletes are doing. Touching in 7th was Harvey, 34.94. Faster than his entry time, fantastic from him. 8th was William, in lane 7, Lucas Lee, 31.40, right on his entry time. In lane 8, William Lake, 44.98. Lane 0, Thomas Raddings from the City Wakefield, 49.66. Great effort by all of our athletes in this first heat. Well done, swimmers. As we're now on to heat number 2. A full heat in this one. So, since there was only S14 swimmers in this, they are competing for classification points. But since there were only S14 swimmers in that first heat, Lucas Lee will become our regional champion as he touched first ahead of his competitors. So well done to Lucas. Lane 2 now. In lane 0 we have William, lane 1 Harry, lane 2 Thomas, lane 3 William, lane 4 Toby, lane 5 Maximus, lane 6 Finn, lane 7 Sam, lane 8 Harry, and in lane 9 is Owen. Again, these 50-metre races are always close from the start all the way through to the finish. But it does look as though to me that lane 6, Finn Proud, will take the touch on this one, and he does, 27.89. Massive improvement on his entry time there. He's got to be delighted with that. Under 28 seconds for the first time. Second was Harry Douglas, Northumberland Durham Performance. Third, Maximus Devanis from Northumberland Durham Performance in a 28.50. Now moving on to heat number 3. Again, a full heat in this one, which is great to see on this bank holiday Monday. In lane 0, Dexter, lane 1 Luke, lane 2 Alfie, lane 3 Michael, lane 4 Oliver, lane 5 Taylor, lane 6 James, lane 7 Will, lane 8 Edward, lane 9 Christian. Going out really strong there is Alfie Maguire from Chesley Street. Practically a body length ahead of the rest of the field here. And he will touch first, 27.11. Great support from the crowd there for Alfie. Faster than his entry time there. Second was Taylor Horseman from Tadcaster, 27.73. Third, Edward Hodgson, 27.79. Great effort there, swimmers, well done. Now on to heat number 4. Again, a full heat in this one. Lane 0, Quinton. Lane 1, Ben. Lane 2, Thomas. Lane 3, Peter. Lane 4, Jack. Lane 5, Carol. Lane 6, Charlie. Lane 7, Matt. Lane 8, Joe. And in lane 9, Joseph. Very close battle here in heat number 4. Who is going to get a touch on this one? It's going to be between lanes 4 and 6, I would have said. And it is lane 6, Charlie Ward, 27.32. Faster than his entry time. Fantastic to do. First thing on a Monday morning. Second, Joe Daly. Third, Jack Denwood. 27.4s there for second and third. Now move on to heat number 5. Another full heat in this one. David in lane 0, lane 1, Oliver, lane 2, Matthew, lane 3, Joe, lane 4, James, lane 5, Marku, lane 6, Tiny 8, lane 7, Sam, lane 8, Will, and in lane 9 is Cody. Again, it's going to be a blanket finish here. Blink and you will miss. Who's going to get the touch here? I think it's lane 8 there. Will Skiggs, 27.01. So we're now getting down towards that 20-second barrier. 27-second barrier, excuse me. James got the second there. Third is Oliver. Heat number 6 now. The first of our cycle seeded heats. In lane 0, we have Cameron, lane 1, Jamie, lane 2, Rudy, lane 3, Jordan, lane 4, Lewis, lane 5, Adele, lane 7, Fergus, lane 8, Will, and in lane 9 is Jamie. No room for error here on these 50-metre disciplines, making sure that they are going to do enough to qualify for this evening's final. But touching first is Jordan Cooley, 25.44 from the City Lead. Second is Lewis Holden from Beverly Barracudas. Lane 5 got third, Adele Uccelli, 25.84. There, under 26 seconds for the top 3. Lane 7. Second of the cycle seeded. So in lane 0 we have Oliver, lane 1 Adam, lane 2 Lewis, lane 3 Dylan, lane 4 Miles, lane 5 Thomas, lane 6 James, lane 7 Lewis, lane 8 is Kai. No swimmer in lane 9. And on this, it is the golden lane swimmer from lane 4 that is out ahead, Miles Kinlan. Aquatics GB Championships qualifier in London a few weeks ago does get the touch, 25.55 to finish. Thomas English in second, 26.33, and third is Dylan Mulvin from the City of Leeds there, 26.34. So it looks as though if you go under 26 seconds in this event, you will be in that open final, battling it out for the regional champion. Last of the cycle seeded heats now, heat number 8. Full 1 in this one. In lane 0, Alexander, lane 1, Will. Lane 2, Andrew. Lane 3, Reese. Lane 4, Louis. Lane 5, Gareth. Lane 6, Thomas. Lane 7, Elliot. Lane 8, Isaac. And in lane 9, Alexander. In this heat, we have already seen multiple medalists in this one looking to battle it out in this 50-metre butterfly, get themselves in a position for that final later this evening. But it does look as though it's going to be lane 4 that's going to get the touch. And it is Louis Dove, 25.68. Second, Andrew Hunter, 25.77. Third is Reese Black at 26.05, excuse me. I would have thought that is certainly good enough to be in that open final. Them top 3 swimmers there. Massive well done to them. No rest for the wicked here. Event 306, the female 50-metre butterfly. Heat 1, full heat in this one. Lane 1 we have Betsy, lane 2 Eliza, lane 3 Layla, lane 4 Olive, lane 5 India, lane 6 Poppy, lane 7 Lily, and in lane 8 is Felicity. Going out really strong here is the outside lanes in lanes 1 and 8. Followed closely behind is lane 7, 5 and 4. But I think it's going to be lane 8 that does get the touch. Felicity, Olivia, 30.88. Second was Lily Watson from lane 7. Great finish there by Lily, 32.16. Third was Betsy in 32.18. Faster than their entry times there for the top 3. Fantastic to see. On this bank holiday Monday morning. Heat 2 now. We have Emily, lane 0, lane 1, Annabelle, lane 2, Charlotte, lane 3, Ava, lane 4, Olivia, lane 5, Eliza, lane 6, Mia, lane 7, Imogen, lane 8, Eliza, and in lane 9 is Olivia. Again, these outside lanes really pushing on here, giving themselves in the best position as they can to get a lifetime best. But lane 5 also having a really strong finish. Who gets a touch there? It is Olivia in lane 9, 31.75 there. Second, Eliza Jones, 31.76. Third, Emily from York City, 32.23 there. Outside lanes really showing great racing. Now move on to heat number 3. Another full heat in this one. Lane 0, Hannah. Lane 1, April. Lane 2, Darcy. Lane 3, Amelie. Lane 4, Sophia. Lane 5, Lauren. Lane 6, Lottie. Lane 7, Jessica. Lane 8, Heidi. And in lane 9 is Robin. Great start in the summer in lane 1. That is April Mansfield from Darlington. She's building that momentum that she created from the start and is holding on to this lead, it looks like. And it will be able to get to touch 31.25, faster than her entry time that she came into these regional championships. Second, Lottie Swan. Third, Lauren Vaughan. 31.58 and 31.66 respectively. Heat number 4 now. In lane 0 we have Emmy. Lane 1, Oksana. Lane 2, Emily. Lane 3, Tylen. Lane 4, Lily. Lane 5, Fen. Lane 6, Myla. Lane 7, Maisie. Lane 8, Jess. And in lane 9 is Kira. Again, very close racing between these girls here. Practically a blanket finish. But a great battle between lane 7 and 8. Who gets a touch? It is Macy Morris from North Allerton there with a time of 31.44. Jess Woods, 31.46 from Tadcaster. And third is Fen Turner from Skipton, 32.03. Now move on to heat number 5. So in this heat we have 1 minute swimmer missing, but in lane 0 Megan, lane 1 Neve, lane 3 Charlotte, lane 4 Lucy, lane 5 Sydney, lane 6 Amelia, lane 7 Holly, lane 8 Jamie, and in lane 9 is Daisy. Strong start there from the swimmer in lane 0 and 3. Outside lane swimmers really pushing strongly, but I think it may be lane 3 that's going to get the touch. The Durham City swimmer Charlotte Judson, 30.87, under the 31-second barrier. Second was Megan Mills from York City. Third, Sydney Dealo from Middlesbrough, 31.31. Great swimming, faster than her entry time there by Charlotte. Right, heat number 6 now. Lane 0 is Flora, lane 1 Ruby, lane 2 Victoria, lane 3 Jessica, lane 4 Scarlett, lane 5 Kira, lane 6 Elizabeth, lane 7 Eliza, lane 8 Freya, and lane 9 is Amit. Again, close racing in store for you here this morning at Ponds Forge International Sports Centre, but it looks like to me it's lane 3 that's going to get the touch. Jessica Jennison, from first, 30.35. Second, Scarlett Capaldi from Northumberland Durham Performance, 30.85. Third, Freya Beach from Newcastle, 30.90. All top 4 there. Amit as well, under the 31-second barrier. We're now moving on to the first of our cycle seeded heats here. Lane 0 Nadine, lane 1 Katie, lane 2 Honey, lane 3 Phoebe, lane 4 Lily, lane 5 Emily, lane 6 Amelia, lane 7 Roxy, lane 8 Isabella, and in lane 9 is Millie. You'll see the centre lanes here pushing really strong now as we approach the cycle seeded heats. It looks like Emily Maxwell had a great start and is holding on to that lead now, and she does get the touch. Emily Maxwell, 28.87, faster than her entry time, and she is currently our fastest swimmer that we've seen so far. Second was Phoebe McNicholas for 29.17, third Lily Stanfield from Harrogate. Swimmers would have saw what Emily just posted there. Lane 0 Katie, lane 1 Annabelle, lane 2 Madeline, lane 3 Libby, lane 4 Shola, lane 5 Meredith, lane 6 Phoebe, lane 7 Charlotte, lane 8 Sophia, and in lane 9 is Emily. No doubt about who the leader is in heat number 8. Shola Robinson going to take the touch on a full stroke, 28.14 by Shola Robinson. Second is Meredith from Tadcaster, 28.93. Third, Phoebe Werrell from Doncaster Darts, 29.26. Great racing by these swimmers here in the second of the cycle seeded heats. Now moving on to the final heat of this event, heat number 9. The advantages of being in the final heat of the cycle seeded is knowing exactly what the swimmers ahead of them have done. They will know what they need to do. So in lane 0 we have Emily, lane 2 Darcy, lane 3 Amelia, lane 4 Phoebe, lane 5 Jasmine, lane 6 Olivia, lane 7 Abigail, lane 8 Molly, and in lane 9 is Emily. Phoebe Cooper, the fastest entrant into this event, and she is looking to be the fastest swimmer out of the rest of the field in this heat. Let's see what time she posed. Phoebe Cooper, 27.57. Very good heat swim this morning. We will certainly see her back for the open final this evening. Second, Jasmine Shea from the City Bradford, 28.87. And in third, Amelia Wright from Harrogate, 29.39. Great racing by the swimmers there. Now move straight on to another 50-metre race. It is the 50-metre breaststroke for the open male event 307. We have in lane 3 Sydney, lane 4 Ethan, lane 5 Thomas, back again, lane 6 James. We have 2 power athletes in this first heat. That is Sydney from Richmond Deals, the SB6 swimmer. In lane 5, Thomas back again, the SB14 swimmer in lane 5. But out in front, a great battle between the 2 swimmers in lane 4 and 6. Entry time for lane 4 was at 34.93, but Ethan goes and takes the win in a 35.34. Second, James Hodson, 35.79. Now let's have a look to see how the swimmers are doing. By our para athlete, it will be Thomas that touches in a 56.82, and then Sydney with a 58.26. Sydney improving on his entry time that he qualified for our regional championships. Great swim by the 2 para athletes there. Again, not necessarily who touches first in the multi-classification event. It's all based on the world record in their respective classification. World record equals to 1,000 points. The closer they get to that world record, the more points they will score towards 1,000. So we'll keep a check of how many points they have scored and who will be our regional champion. Nonetheless, we are in Heat 2 now. In lane 1, Joseph, lane 2, Callum, lane 3, Zachary, lane 4, Jacob, lane 5, Alex, lane 6, Ryan, lane 7, Alfie, and in lane 8 is Harry. Looks to be a very, very close race at this moment in time, but to my reckoning, it looks as though it is lane 4, Jacob O'Donnell from the City Leeds, that will take the touch. And he does 34.66 there. Second was from lane 1, Joseph Stamp, 35.35. Third was in lane 3, Zachary Helm, 35.43. Heat number 3 now. Full heat in this one. We have in this one lane 0, Mathieu, lane 1, Freddie, lane 2, Tom, lane 3, Harry, lane 4, Jack, lane 5, Charles, lane 16, lane 7 is Jack, lane 8, William, and in lane 9, Morgan. Very, very close heat in this one. Swimmers will not see where each other are, but they will sense whereabouts they could possibly be. At this moment in time, it does look as though it is lane 3, Harry Clinkard, that will take the touch. And he does 33.12. Second goes to Jack Barnes from Skipton, 33.67. Third place goes to Dean from the City of Wakefield in a time of 383.90. Heat number 4 now. Another full heat in this one. In lane 0 we have Thomas, lane 1 Rory, lane 2 Thomas, lane 3 Jacob, lane 4 Will, lane 5 Jack, lane 6 Ryan, lane 7 Matteo, lane 8 Rudy, and in lane 9 is Max. Fastest into this is Will, 33.00 to 33.40 in this heat, so you expect to be a very close heat, and that is certainly on show for you here this morning. Who's going to get the touch here? I think it might be lane 6. Certainly is lane 6. Ryan Woodcock, 32.80, inside of his entry time and lifetime best. He certainly seems happy with that one. Second is Rudy, 33.05. Third, Rory King from the City Wakefield, 33.22. Well done, swimmers. Right, heat number 5 now in lane 0. We have another para-athlete, SB15 swimmer for his hearing impairment, and is Nathan, lane 1. Demi Lady, lane 2 Luca, lane 3 James, lane 4 Kai, lane 5 Joe, lane 6 Callum, lane 7 Sam, lane 8 Blake, and in lane 9 is Benjamin. An absolute line of swimmers coming into the last 5 metres. This touch will go anywhere, but I think it will be lane 5 at the wall. It's joint first, 32.42. I believe that is the first joint winner, heat winners that we have had at these regional championships. Just goes to show how close it is on these 50-metre races. Third was Luca Hall, 32.44. We are now on to our cycle seeded heats. This is the first of them. Heat 6, lane 0 Matthew, lane 1 Thomas, lane 2 Matthew, lane 3 Barnaby, lane 4 Daniel, lane 5 Joe, lane 6 Sam, lane 7 Tinier, lane 8 Jack, and lane 9 Max. So you expect the third fastest entrant into this event, Daniel Ransom from the City Leeds, is going to take the win here from lane 4. 29.15 there. Second, Joe Stott, 29.91. Third does go to Barnaby, 30.29. Two swimmers under that 30-second barrier. Great effort by them swimmers there. That should hopefully be enough to qualify for this evening's open final. Another full heat in this race. Heat number 7, the second of the cycle seeded. Lane 0 Harry, lane 1 Ben, lane 2 Simon, lane 3 Ryan, lane 4 Richard, lane 5 Isaac, lane 6 Blake, lane 7 Alfie, lane 8 Roman, and lane 9 Joseph. Alfie Maguire back again after the 50-metre butterfly he did earlier before, and he is certainly going out strongly, but it is the centre lanes here. Richard Eyre from East Leeds out in front on this 50-metre breaststroke. Right there next to him is Ryan Griffiths, the 200-metre breaststroke champion. But it is Richard Eyre that gets the touch, 29.58. Second is Ryan from the City of Sheffield, 29.73. Isaac there in third, 30.23. Hopefully that will be enough for them to qualify for that open final this evening. Final heat of event 307. Last of the cycle seeded. Lane 0 Rio. Lane 1 Leighton. Lane 2 Alpha. Lane 3 Ryan. Lane 4 Rowan. Lane 5 Ethan. Lane 6 Nicholas. Lane 7 Quinn Austin. Lane 8 Jamie. And lane 9 is Thomas. Fastest entrant in this event is Rowan Smith, and he is shown why he is the fastest entrant in this event. Ending on time of 28.11. Let's see what time he posted this morning. 28.58. Great swim by Rowan there. Second was Ethan Balin from Tadcaster, 29.19. Third does go to Ryan Mills, 29.86. So the top 3 swimmers there under the 30-second mark. They certainly should be through to this evening's open final there. And that concludes event 307. Now move on to event 308, the female 50-metre breaststroke. In this heat 1, we have in lane 1 Sky Fleming, the SB6 swimmer. Lane 2 Erin. Lane 3 Amelie. Lane 4 Emma. Lane 5 Ava. Lane 6 Ella. And lane 7 Kiera. As we expect to be a very close heat on this one. Fastest seed, 37.48 by Emma Heaton. But it looks to me that it's going to be lane 3 that gets the touch. That is Amelie, 37.07 from Cleethorpes. Second, Emma Heaton, York City, 37.45. Third is Ava Joyce, 37.75. As you can see on your screen, this is Sky Fleming, the SB6 athlete from Richmond Dales, a 15-year-old. Her entry time is a 1:10.70. Sky will be looking to get as close as she can to her entry time. 5 meters to go now. She's already a multiple medalist at these regional championships. As she touches the wall there. 1:14.60. Great effort by Sky Fleming there. Well done, and she will be our regional para champion in this event. As we move on now to heat number 2. Full 10 swimmers in this heat. Lane 0 Molly, lane 1 Lily May, lane 2 Isla, lane 3 Fen, lane 4 Poppy, lane 5 Amy, lane 6 Isabel, lane 7 Grace, lane 8 Abigail, and lane 9 is Lexi. Times ranging from 36.9 to 37.4, so 0.5 of a second between these athletes. But it looks as though, to me, in lane 2, Isla Cordwell from the City of Sheffield is going to take the touch here. She certainly does, 37.22 there. Second does go to Grace from the City of Wakefield, 37.64. Third, Poppy Pearson, 37.69. Now moving on to heat number 3. We have no lane 5, but in lane 0 we have Thailand, lane 1 Rachel, lane 2 Millie. Lane 3 is Reagan, lane 4 Amy, lane 6 Jessica, lane 7 Lauren, lane 8 Joey, and in lane 9 is Myla. Great start there by lanes 1, 2. Also out there in lanes 7 and 8. Who's going to get the touch here? I think it could be possibly lane 7 that gets the touch, and it is Lauren Vaughan from Scunthorpe, 36.71. Second is Rachel, 37.01. Third there, Millie Rivers, 37.30. Great swim by the swimmers here. Now moving on to heat number 4. Full heat in this one as well. Lane 0, Chanel. Lane 1, Lucy. Lane 2, Phoebe. Lane 3, Neve. Lane 4, Ava. Lane 5, Amelie. Lane 6, Victoria. Lane 7, Rose. Lane 8, Zara. And lane 9 is Ruby. Out really strongly is lane 6, 7, and 8. Going really strong. He had a strong first 25 metres. Every minor detail counts in this 50-metre breaststroke. Who's going to spot the wall well? And it is Rose Keefe, 35.86. Second, Victoria Barker from Harrogate, 35.99. Third, Zara Holt from Tancaster, 36.41. First time under 36 seconds by them two swimmers. Now move on to heat number 5. Lane 0 we have Emmy, lane 1 Scarlett, lane 2 Amy, lane 3 Ava, lane 4 Olivia, lane 5 Emily, lane 6 Amit, lane 7 is Abby, lane 8 Millie, and in lane 9 Jessica. A lot of these girls doubling up from the 50 flighter moments ago. But it does seem to be lane number 4 Olivia from Tadcaster. Last 5 metres to go. She does look as though that she's going to get the touch. And she does. 35.92 second. Emily Burrell from Darlington, 36.25. And in third position is Amit Maltz from Harrogate. Great racing by these swimmers here. We're now moving on to the first of our cycle seeded heats. So the top 30 entrants will go into cycle seeded. Third fastest qualifier in the middle is Megan Mills. But in lane 2 we have Emma, lane 1 Alex, lane 2 Emily, lane 3 Lily, lane 4 mentioned before Megan, lane 5 Georgina, lane 6 Charlotte, lane 7 Georgia, lane 8 Darcel, lane 9 Ava. It does seem to me that Georgina right from the Berwick Kirklees out really strong in that first 25 metres and is carrying that momentum through towards the finish. And she does get the touch. 33.60. Second, Emily Robson from Rydale, 34.12. Third is Megan Mills from York City, 34.24. The girls in the heat before would have paid attention of what they will need to do in this next heat. Full heat in this one. Lane 0 Sienna, lane 1 Esme, lane 2 Sophie, lane 3 Jamie, lane 4 Phoebe, lane 5 Emily, lane 6 Katie, lane 7 Amelia, lane 8 Neve, and in lane 9 is Evie. Again, 50-metre breaststroke, now part of the Olympic programme at LA 2028, as well as 50-metre backstroke and 50 metres butterfly. Expect the second fastest seed in this event. Phoebe McNicholas does get the touch, 34.34 there. Second, Emily Elliott from the City of Leeds, 35.12. Third does go to Jamie from Cleethorpes, 35.28. Very close racing there by these girls. Now move on to the final heat of this event, the last of the 50-metre races. And in 0 we have Mabel, lane 1 Emily, lane 2 Eloise, lane 3 Hannah, lane 4 Bethany, lane 5 Katie, lane 6 Isabella, lane 7 Harriet, lane 8 Isabel, and in lane 9 is Olivia May. Some of these swimmers have raced in the 100 and 200 disciplines, medalists in them as well. Fastest entrant though is Bethany Walker from the City of Sheffield, and she is showing exactly why she is the fastest entrant in this event. Entered on a time of 32.20. Let's see what time she goes. 33.07. A very solid heat swim this morning. We will certainly see her back this evening for the finals tonight. She will be in that lane 4 this evening. That concludes our splash and dash 50s there. Again, the 50s off stroke now a part of the LA 2028 Olympic Games. Very exciting for the sport of swimming. Can't wait to watch them there. Meaning all of our swimming events in our program will be featured at the LA 2028 Olympic Games. Super exciting for the sport of swimming. But we now move on to event 309, the open male 200 metre backstroke. Go from 50 metres to 200 metres backstroke. You can see there the officials putting the ledges in. The ledges have been in there now for over a decade. Been a great addition for these athletes in order to allow them to have a fantastic start, utilise the underwaters. They're allowed 15 metres. If their head goes past that 15 metre mark, unfortunately that will be a disqualification. But these swimmers will know that. They will count their kicks to know exactly where to come up at. So your swimmers in this first heat, we have in lane 1, Alfie Carmichael from Kingston upon Hull. Lane 2, Jack Wilkinson, Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 3, Edward Cook from Durham City. There is no lane 4. Lane 5, Alexander Brown from Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 6, Gabriel Malloy from Northumberland Durham Performance. In lane 7, Ben Artis from City of Bradford. And lane 8 is Lucas Lee, back again from Dearne Valley, the S14 swimmer. 200 metre backstroke, not a Paralympic event, so it's great to see Lucas Lee testing himself on these 200 metre races to help him for the 100 metre backstroke, which is a Paralympic event. Lucas Lee competed in the 50 metres butterfly moments ago, so straight back in for the 200 metre backstroke. But out in front does look to me lane 7. That is Ben from the City of Bradford. Out in 1:09.43, the only swimmer to be under 1:10 first 100. Second, Gabriel Malloy. Third is Alfie in lane 1 from Kingston upon Hull. The tough third 50 in this 200 metre backstroke. There is certainly arguments to say that this is the hardest 200 metre race. It's an absolute killer on the legs. These swimmers will be conditioning them legs to finish really quickly on this last 50. It is still Ben there, 37.64 split. Gabriel, 37.5 split there. So very close between lane 6 and 7. I wonder if they know exactly where each other are, helping them push them through as they approach the final 15 metres. Third position does look as though it is Alexander Brown, but not too far away is Edward Cook. And at the wall is Ben 2:24.47. Second is Gabriel 2:24.61. Third, Alexander Brown 2:26.44. Great effort by these swimmers here. Ben going quicker than his entry time. Be absolutely delighted with that. Let's have a look. Lucas Lee 2:39.23. That is quicker than his entry time. He is the only para athlete that we have in this event, so he will become our regional para champion in this event. Congratulations to Lucas Lee, along with a lifetime best there. As we move on now to heat number 2. There's only 6 heats in this event. We have a full heat for you in heat number 2. So in lane 0 we have Jack Asma battle. Lane 1, Charlie Ward. Lane 2, Benjamin Palmer. Lane 3, Hayden Lamb. Lane 4, Will Skiggs. Lane 5, Jack Berry. Lane 6, Harry O'Halloran Hutchinson. Lane 7, William Morley. Lane 8, Tom Curran. And lane 9 is Tom Robinson. Wide range of clubs in this heat number 2. Out first is Harry O'Halloran Hutchinson, 32.34. The Northumberland Durham Performance swimmer. Second, William Morley. Third, Charlie Ward. So lanes 1, 4 and 6 go really strongly here, as well as lanes 7 and 8. It still looks as though that Harry O'Halloran Hutchinson is out in front, and he will turn at the 100-metre mark. 108.61, faster than what we saw in the previous heat. But a great turn there by Charlie Ward, which looks to me that he is now in front. This is the third 50 where athletes will be digging deep to give themselves enough momentum to really push on that final 50. And it does look as though Charlie Ward has certainly pushed through on that third 50. He will turn first. 36.7 split there. Second, William Morley, 38.2 split. Harry O'Halloran Hutchinson, 38.3 split there. But it is still Charlie Ward. Swimmers' legs will be burning, lungs will be burning, but you need to push through. It's all about grit and determination on this final 50. Does look as though that Charlie Ward is out in front. Second, Will Skiggs. And it's a close battle for third. Hayden Lamb now coming in the picture for third place. But it will be Charlie Ward from Northumberland Durham Performance, 2:22.16 second. Will Skiggs, 2:23.15. Third goes to Hayden Lamb, 2:24.15. Charlie Ward's entry time was a 2:22.30, so he's certainly gone faster than that. But it does look as though that could be a short course conversion time. So short course conversion means swimmers have potentially qualified for these regional championships at a short course competition, which they are eligible to do. Usually how you can tell if it's a short course conversion, they would have a 0 at the end of their time. So for example, for Charlie Ward, 2:22.30 was his entry time. If you can tell it's a long course personal best time, it ranges from numbers 1 to 9. That's how you can certainly tell that's a long course PB. But again, it could be different, as swimmers can certainly touch a wall on a point something 0. But we're well underway now for heat number 3. Lane 0, Harry Willis from Newcastle. Lane 1, Mark Ugetu from Harrogate. Lane 2, Arthur Owens from City Leeds. Lane 3, Matthew Sitch from Kingston upon Hull. Lane 4, Michael O'Neill, Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 5, William Wilson, City Leeds. Lane 6, Samuel Jackson from the Berwick Cleese. Lane 7, Callum Ogden from York Vikings. Lane 8, Lucas Christie from Kingston upon Hull. And lane 9, Thomas Lords from Northumberland Durham Performance. Very close at that first 50 is Matthew Sitch. Again, a lot of these swimmers will be looking for lifetime bests this morning at our regional championships, which is fantastic to do. Mentioned a couple of days ago, long course and short course are two very different sports. Always like to compare them to tennis and badminton. Very similar, but also very different. Long course, certainly a very hard swimming event, but it will be Michael O'Neill that takes it out. First 100 metres, 107.17. Second was the swimmer in lane 8, Lucas Christie. Third, lane 3, Matthew Sitch. They still look as though they are 1, 2, 3 at this moment in time, but going really well in lanes 2, 5, 7, and 9 at the top of your screen. It does look as though that it is lane 9. Very level with the swimmer in lane 3. And it is Thomas Laws that turns third there. But out in first, no doubt about it, is Michael O'Neill from Northumberland Down Performance. A 35.7 split on that third 50. He will know exactly where he is. Building through on this last 50, last 25 metres to go now. Using that leg kick. Making sure swimmers are not over kicking on this backstroke. It's all about what you do in the water that propels you forward from that propulsion, but it will be Michael O'Neill that takes a touch in a time of 2:18.66. Right on top of his entry time that he came in this morning. Second does go to Lucas Christie, 2:20.39. Third goes to William Wilson, a really strong last 50 by the City Lead swimmer of 2:20.73. A 33.90 split on that last 50. Faster than any of the other swimmers by almost 2 seconds there. So well done to William Wilson on that last 50. We now move on to the first of our cycle seeded heats. Heat number 4. Now into the first of the cycle seeded heats, heat number 4. In lane 0, we have Alexander 2 from York City. Lane 1, Peter McGrover from Northumberland Down Performance. Lane 2, Owen Brown from Newcastle. Lane 3, Conan Swinney, Northumberland Down Performance. Lane 4, Benjamin Cross from the City Sheffield. Lane 5, Oliver Davis Tootle from City Sheffield. Lane 6, Matthew Scott from Newcastle. Lane 7, Matthew James from the City Leeds. Lane 8, Ethan Hampshire from Rotherham Metro. And lane 9, Ben Toward from Northumberland Down Performance. And out very quickly is the swimmer in lane 0, Alexander from York City. 30.63. Second, Owen Brown. Third, Matthew Scott. Benjamin Cross, the third fastest entrant into this event, so he is in the first of the cycle seeded heats. He'll want to post a time to challenge the rest of the swimmers coming later on in this event, and he does turn first now after the 100 metre mark. 103.37 second, Oliver Davis Tootle. 104.25 third, Owen Brown from Newcastle. 104.73. Benjamin Cross working really hard on this middle 100 here. He'll know exactly where he is as we approach now to the final 50 metres. 33.2 split there on the third 50. Oliver Davis Tootle 34.4. Owen Brown 34.7 on that split. Very close battle between lanes 2 and in lanes 5, but Matthew Scott not going anywhere just yet in lane 6. No doubt about who is out in front. That is Benjamin Cross, B finalist in the Aquatics GB Championships in London a few weeks ago in this event, and he touches with a time of 209.90 under the 210 barrier. Very, very good swim by Benjamin Cross. Certainly that should be enough to get him into that open final. Second place, Owen Brown from Newcastle, really strong last final 50, 2:14.05. Third goes to Oliver Davis Tootle, 2:14.41. Matthew Scott very close behind him, 2:14.48. Again, swimmers will be looking to qualify for that open final, or that 16 years and under youth final. We are now underway for the second of the cycle seeded heats, heat number 5. We have no swimmer in lane 4. We have in lane 0 though, Stan Sawyer from York City, lane 1, Henry Mack from Darlington, lane 2, Joseph Martin from Newcastle, lane 3, Edward Redshaw, Middlesbrough, lane 5, Jensen Owen, City of Sheffield, lane 6, Daniel Payton, Northumberland Durham Performance, lane 7, Micah Warner from Skipton, lane 8, Ivan Gallagher, Northumberland Durham Performance, lane 9, Zachary Fiden from York City. That means your fastest entrant is lane 5 into this heat. 2:05.60. Again, mentioned about conversion times earlier before. Looks as though that could possibly be a short course conversion, but then again, I could be wrong. Swimmers can definitely have a 0 at the end of their time in this long course competition, but usually you can sort of tell what the short course conversions are. But it is Jensen Owen now first, 103.33, first 100 metres. Third, Edward Redshaw. Second was Edward Redshaw from Middlesbrough. Third there, Joseph Martin from Newcastle. Heading towards the final 50 is Jensen Owen. Edward Redshaw going with him, but also Joseph Martin staying there or thereabouts with the top 2. 33.9 to 34.1 to 35.2 splits on that third 50. I wonder if Edward Redshaw has spotted where Jensen Owen is. He's really shifting gears here on this final 50. Stroke rate increasing, leg kick is increasing. They'll want to get themselves in that open final later this evening. Jensen Owen was a regional youth champion earlier in this competition, and he does get the touch to 10.66. Edward Redshaw 2:11.53. Third does go to Joseph Martin 2:15.50. Great racing there by these swimmers in the second of the cycle seeded heats. And that result is confirmed on the scoreboard. As we move on now to the final heat of this event, the third of the cycle seeded. These swimmers will have paid attention of what was done in the heats prior. So these swimmers will know exactly what they need to do to qualify for finals this evening, what time roughly they will need to go to get themselves through. It's all about mind games and tactics in the heats. We are underway now. There is no swimmer in lane 5. But in lane 0 we have Alexander Whittle from Newcastle. Lane 1, Daniel Millhouse from Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 2, Harry Gibson from Newcastle. Lane 3, Oliver Steele, City Leeds. Lane 4, Charlie Broom from the City Leeds. Lane 5, David Hope from Briglington. Lane 7, Oliver Bradley, Cleethorpes. Lane 8, Finley Williams from the City Leeds. And lane 9, Luke Littler from Northumberland Durham Performance. Fastest entrant into this event is Charlie Broom. 28.9 split going out first 50, going out really strong there. Really testing his easy speed. Easy speed meaning the fastest time they can go using the least amount of energy they can in order to swim really quickly on that last 50 metres. It is Charlie Broom that turns first, 101.65, the fastest first 100 we have seen all morning in this event. Second is Oliver Steele. Third, a very close battle between Harry Gibson and in lane 6 David Hope from Bridlington. Charlie Broom already regional champion in multiple events and medalist. Having a tough schedule of racing at these regional championships. He knows exactly where he is in this field. One really strong as well is lane 3. He's up at his stroke rate, so he's certainly really trying to push to get himself in that open final later this evening. And it will be Charlie Broom at the finish. 2:12.08 to Oliver Steele, 2:13.53. Third does go to David Hope there, 2:17.34. Great racing by these swimmers here. Looking for lifetime best, if not trying to qualify themselves for the Summer Championships, either at the Aquatics GB Next Gen or the Swim England National Summer Meets. Last couple of weekends left to go now to qualify. Swimmers will find out if they have been invited to the Summer Championships very soon after the qualification window closes. Now move on to event 310, the female 200 metre backstroke. In heat 1 we have 2 of our para athletes. In lane 4, Mia Wiseman, and in lane 6, Josie Johnson from Richmond-Dale. S15 is for those with a hearing impairment. Josie Johnson has a physical impairment. The S9 swimmer. S1 to S10 are for those physical impairments. So the full lineup in this heat we have in lane 3, Sophia Hewins from Kipax. Lane 4 is Mia Wiseman from Loftus Dolphins. Lane 5, Alice Ward, Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 6, Josie Johnson, Richmond-Dale. And in lane 7 is Felicity Olivia from Northumberland Durham Performance. Oliva, sorry. And it is Felicity out first. 35-4-3 split on that first 50. Alice Ward, her teammate, very close behind her in second position. Third is Mia Wiseman from Loftus Dolphins, S15 swimmer. These swimmers will be looking to try and improve on their entry time, if not their long course personal best time. That's why on rankings you have 2 sets of time, long course and short course, 2 different sets of personal best times to aim for, whether you compete in a long course pool or short course pool. We use short course conversions to qualify for the likes of these regional championships. So swimmers may have swam this event short course in order to qualify for the long course competition. That can also happen vice versa. Swimmers may qualify in a long course competition to compete in our short course regional championships that usually happen in the winter months in November. But out first is still Felicity. 14.2 split there. Second still Alice Ward. Another 40-second split. Mia also going really well from Loftus Dolphins. But it does look as though that Felicity is held on from that lead after the first 50 metres. Led from the start and has led all the way through. 5 metres to go now, and she's going to touch the wall in a time of 2:32.74. Great swim from Felicity there. Second does go to Alice Ward, 2:34.19. Right on top of her lifetime best there. Mia Wiseman, 2:40.19. That could potentially be a long course personal best time there. Fourth there was Sophia, 2:51.00. We now look to Josie Johnson, the S9 swimmer. 200 metre backstroke is not a Paralympic event, so it's great to see Josie really challenge herself in the 200 metre discipline. Her entry time is a 3:57.60. That could potentially be a short course conversion. So she'll be looking to get as close as she can to that entry time, if not get a long course personal best time. As she approaches towards the flags, she will counter strokes for the last 5 meters to know exactly where the wall is. As she approaches the finish, what time is it going to be? 3:46.83. That is faster than her entry time by almost 11 seconds there. So great swim by Josie there. She's had a fantastic meet so far. As there were 2 different classifications there, they will be based on the world record performance. In their classification, world record will equal to 1,000 points. The closer they are to that world record, the more points they will get towards 1,000 in the multi-classification system. Not necessarily who touches the wall first that become our regional medalists. All about the classification points for these athletes becoming our regional para champion. So we'll keep an eye out on who that will be when we have the confirmed results. But we now move on to heat number 2 for you. Full heat in this one. Lane 0, Molly Orr from Harrogate. Lane 1, Amy Newton from North Tyneside. Lane 2, Maisie Ray from City of Bradford. Lane 3, Ava Glynn, Newcastle. Lane 4, Amelia Stratford from Rotherham Metro. Lane 5, Lily Watson from Newcastle. Lane 6, Emma Heaton from York City. Lane 7, Evie Heslop, Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 8, Lucy Cadden from City of Sheffield. And Lane 9, Heidi Carr from Newcastle. Out very quickly indeed is Evie Heslop from Northumberland Durham Performance, but also going with her in lane 2 is Maisie Ray. And it does look as though that Macy is in front at this moment in time. Entry time of 2:32.50. Potentially could be a long course, short course conversion there. But it's Ava Glynn that touches first. Very quick turnover of speed at the turn. 1:13.47 to touch first at the first 100 meters. She's building that momentum through that she's created on that second 50 into this third 50, the tough 50 in any of the 200 meter races. This is where a lot of these swimmers will be speaking to their coaches to make their move. 200 meter backstroke is an absolute killer on the legs. These swimmers would have conditioned themselves really well to make sure that their leg kick is really strong, to make sure they finish well in this race. Ava Glynn certainly doing that from Newcastle. 39-3 split on that third 50. Second, looks as though it is Maisie. Third now, at the top of your screen in lane 8, Lucy from the City of Sheffield going really strong, but also Amelia Stratford from Rotherham in lane 4. But Ava Glynn very comfortable out on that first 50 and really challenging herself on the last 350s. 38.1 split to finish 2:30.87. That is faster than her entry time, and that looks as though that is a long course personal best time as well. 2 second improvement. Second, Maisie Ray, 2:32.94, right on top of her entry time, but possibly could be a long course best time there. Third was Lucy from the City of Sheffield out there in lane 8, 2:33.65. Again, entered on a 2:33.50, so that very much could be a long course best time there. These swimmers will know what their long course best times are and certainly be aiming to challenge that at these regional championships, doing whatever they can to make sure They put up their best performances at the regional championships. Great effort by them girls there. We now move on to heat number 3 now. No swimmer in lane 4. But I'll give you the list of names now of who we have competing for you in heat number 3. Lane 0, Ava Turner from York City. Lane 1, Robin Howard from the City Leeds. In lane 2, Jessica Hubery from Doncaster Tarts. Lane 3, Katie Pink, Middlesbrough. Lane 5, Lucy Raper, Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 6, Jessica Whittle from Newcastle. Lane 7, Molly Scott, Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 8, Abigail Armstrong, Sheffield City. Lane 9, Jessica Jennison from Thirsk. Our first is the swimmer in lane 0, Ava Turner from York City. Great shot of Ponds Forge International Sports Centre on your screen. As we approach the 100-metre mark, swimmers using that easy speed on the first 50, going out as quickly as they can, but not using a lot of energy. As we turn at the 100-metre mark, it is Ava that's still out in front, 1:12.05. Second is Jessica Hubery, 1:12.44. Third is Lucy Raper, 1:12.80. We've got 4 swimmers almost in a line. Going really well out there in lane 7 is Molly Scott from Northumberland Durham Performance. Seems that Lucy Raper has taken the lead now in lane number 5. Since there is no lane 4, she is the fastest seed in this heat. 2:37.0 is her entry time. Again, that could possibly be a short course conversion. Second now is Jessica, 1:52.73. Ava Turner in third. But a great turn from Ava there to get herself level with Jessica, but also going really strong in lane 7 is Molly Scott. What have these swimmers got left for this final 50 metres, final 25 now? Lucy Raper really challenging herself on this second 100 metres, looking really strong. The 14-year-old, she also competes at the age group championships in Leeds a weekend before and next weekend, but she does touch at a time of 2:29.04. Great swim from Lucy. Second, Jessica Hubery, 2:31.70. Third does go to Ava Turner, 2:33.01. Lucy Raper there under the 2:30 barrier, and it is faster than her entry time, so I believe that is a lifetime best there for that 200 metre backstroke. So well done to Lucy there. Second, 2:31.70. Right on her best time there as well. Great effort from these swimmers. Swimmers asked to leave the pool. Allow the swimmers in heat after to jump themselves in. Now moving on to heat number 4, and it looks as though to me there is a full heat in this one. Now moving on to heat number 4 for you. Yeah, full heat in this one. In lane 0 we have Ilsa Rogers from Durham City. Lane 1, Naomi Broadley from the City Wakefield. Lane 2, Millie Walker, City Leeds. Lane 3, Nadine Wilson, Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 4, Sophia Caseup from Kingston upon Hull. Lane 5, Alicia Hodgson from Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 6, Sophia Mann from City Leeds. Lane 7, Oksana Wilkick Jaziku from the City Leeds. Lane 8, Eliza Hammond from Kingsfisher Scarborough. And in lane 9 is Hannah McTurnan from Newcastle. So let's see where these swimmers are after the first 75 metres or so. There's a line of swimmers in lanes 1, 3, 4, 5 and in lane 8. And really challenging themselves in this first 100 metres. As we look to turn now, it looks to me Nadine Wilson turns first 1:12.27 there. Second, Alicia Hodgson from Northumberland Durham Performance, 1:12.28. Third, in lane 8, that is Eliza Hammond. The third 50 now. Swimmers making their move, or starting to make their move here. Working really hard to allow themselves to have a really strong finish on this final 50. And it will be Nadine Wilson in first, second Naomi now, and then third is Millie Walker. Right, let's see what these swimmers have got left. Legs will be burning, lungs will be burning. All about grit and determination now on this final 50. There still is Nadine Wilson out ahead. But the swimmers in lanes 1 and 2 are catching up to Nadine here. But Nadine is holding herself well. Last 5 metres to go into the finish. And it will be Nadine Wilson, 2:37.2 there, finishing time. Second, Millie Walker, 2:31.78. Third, Naomi Broadley from the City of Wakefield, 2:32.52. Great racing by the swimmers there in heat number 4. Now moving on to heat number 5. This is the first of your cycle seeded heats. Top 30 entrants into this event go into cycle seeded. So the third fastest entrant is in lane 4. That is Libby Monday, having a fantastic regional championship so far, medaling in the backstroke races. Silver medal in the 100. Also in this heat, Emma Price, 400 individual medley regional champion this one. Into Alice Forrest, multiple regional medalists so far in the youth category. But the full lineup, a full heat in this one, we have in lane 0, Sophie Smith from the City of Sheffield, lane 1, Jessica Thomas, Northumberland Durham Performance. Her teammate Alice Forrest in lane 2, and again in lane 3, Emma Price. Lane 4, Libby Monday, Kingston upon Hull. Lane 5, Isabella Sherring from the City of Sheffield. Lane 6, Millie Linton, Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 7, Darcy Jackson from Tadcaster. Lane 8, Matilda Smith, Northumberland Durham Performance. And in lane 9, Poppy Nutman from the Borough Kirklees. Multiple regional finalists, medalists and champions in this heat of the 200 metre backstroke. Very versatile swimmers in here. Swimmers probably trying different events to allow themselves to have busy schedules in the summer. Still very much in that qualification period for the Summer Championships, Aquatics GB, Next Gen, Swim England National Summer Meet as well, the week after the Aquatics GB ones. Our first though is Libby Monday, the third fastest entrant, but the fastest seed into this heat. Very close battle though between lanes 3, 5 and 6. As you can see now, that it's starting to form the perfect arrow formation in this 200 metre backstroke heat. Certainly between lane 2 and 7. That is that perfect arrow formation. Livy Monday turning first, 37.4. Second, Isabella Sherring, 38.1 split. Emma Price, 37.8. Summers looking to work hard on this final 100 metres to allow themselves to get in the finals this evening, the 16 years and under or the open age group final. The 16 and unders will do their best to try and get in that open final to hopefully guarantee themselves a medal in the youth category. But touching first is Livy Monday, 2:24.48. Second, Emma Price, 2:26.14. Third, Isabella Sherring, 2:27.29. Great last 50 metres from Alice Forrest, though, as well as Millie Linton. They're your top 5 from that first of the cycle seeded heats there. Now we move on to heat number 6. I don't believe there is anyone in lane number 2, sorry. One swimmer missing from this heat. And we are off now for the second of the cycle seeded heats, heat number 6. Lane 0, we have Sydney Dealove from Middlesbrough. Lane 1, Freya Beach from Newcastle. No one in lane 2. Niamh Savoury from Newcastle. Lane 4, Candice Hall from the City of Sheffield. Lane 5, Gina Warrior from the City of Bradford. Lane 6, Eve Parkin from York City. Lane 7, Greta Jugabitete from Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 8, Tatenda Tienga from Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 9, Emily Morrison from the City of Leeds. And it is Candice Hall out first, the second fastest entrant into this event, 200 metre backstroke. Candice Hall already picking up a medal at these regional championships in the 100 metre breaststroke. Shows really good versatility here. 100 metre breaststroke to 200 metre backstroke. Backstroke and breaststroke, really key strokes in the individual medley. So Candice looking to really challenge herself on the backstroke and breaststroke races to help with the individual medley. 106.92 out. Couple of body lengths ahead of the rest of the field. In second is Eve Parkin from York City. Third, Gina Warrior. Gina Warrior also having a great regional championships. She was our 100 metre backstroke open champion this weekend. That was done on Saturday evening. Tough to do, 3 days back-to-back racing. It's all about resting, recovering between days, races, heats, finals. But Candice Hall having an outstanding heat swim here this morning. Entry time here, let's have a look, 2:15.80. Again, potentially could be a short course conversion time. Just going to be outside of that a little bit. Certainly looking to go under the 2:20 barrier. And she will do that, 2:18.89, 36.2 split there. Very commanding heat swim by Candice Hall. Second does go to Eve Parkin, 2:24.92. Third, Niamh Savoury, 2:27.26. Great racing by these swimmers. But no doubt about who your winner is, Candice Hall in that heat. Certainly putting herself through to that open final this evening. Want to post a time to challenge this final heat. The girls would have been watching what times were being posted in the earlier heats, so they will know what they will need to do to qualify for the open final or the 16 years and under final this evening. All about mind games and tactics in the heats. Saving some energy to force a really good swim in the finals. All these swimmers will look to convert. As we now move on to heat number 7. Final heat of this event, the female 200 metre backstroke heat number 7, and it is a full heat in this one. Lane 0, we have Amelia Redfern from Skipton. Lane 1, Grace Brown from Newcastle. Lane 2, Scarlett Dean from Harrogate. Lane 3, Matilda Potter from the City Leeds. Lane 4, Gabby Freeman from Northumberland and Durham Performance. Lane 5, Sophie Bromley, City Sheffield. Lane 6, Annabelle Neal from Middlesbrough. Lane 7, Lacey Grayson from Rotherham Metro. Lane 8, Matilda Hendon from Tadcaster. And Lane 9 is Samantha Taylor from York City. Again, another stacked heat. We've already seen multiple medals from a few of these swimmers in this final heat. For example, Gabby Freeman there in lane number 4, the fastest entrant into this event. Gabby was our youth champion in the 400 metre individual medley and silver medalist in the open age group. But going out really strongly is Grace Brown in lane 1. As well is the swimmer in lane 5, Sophie Bromley. Sophie Bromley got the bronze medal in the 100 metre backstroke open category on Saturday. Annabelle Neal in lane 6 also going really well. Annabelle Neal, the 100 metre champion out of the 16 years and under. Also competed in the 50 metre backstroke last night, posting a really impressive time. Very close after the third 50, but it is a joint first between Grace Brown and Gabby Freeman. Gabby Freeman, fast split there, 36.9. However, the fastest split was from Matilda Potter from the City Leeds. As you can see, Matilda Potter increasing that stroke rate now. Had a fantastic 400 metre freestyle last night. She was our open champion doing the 200 metre backstroke this morning, but it looks as though that Gabby Freeman really working on that second 100 metres this morning in the heat, and Gabby will take the touch. 2:22.38. Second goes to Annabelle Neal, 2:23.21. Third does go to Matilda Potter, 2:23.98. Hopefully see them again at this evening's finals in the open final, if not certainly the 16 years and under. Great racing by these swimmers here. They know that they've done enough to hopefully allow themselves to come back for this evening's finals. That concludes the 200 metre backstroke races there. As we move on now to event 311. Another 50 metre race for you this morning. This is the open male 50 metre freestyle. In this first heat, we have 3 swimmers. These 3 swimmers are S14. S14 is for intellectual impairments. So this will be a battle between these athletes. So whoever does touch first here will potentially certainly get a medal in our regional championships. We have one more S14 swimmer coming up in heat number 2. So these athletes will look to post a really quick time to challenge the next S14 swimmer coming up in heat number 2. But it is Joshua Gill, 30.98 is his time there. Faster than his entry, so well done to Joshua. And then 5, Harvey Stonebank, 33.84. Faster than his entry time as well. Thomas back again for another race, 40.78 there. Great effort by the 3 swimmers in the first heat. Joshua and Harvey certainly guaranteed silver and bronze. Now let's see how Owen Tempest does from the city leads in lane 9. Make a note of 30.98 there. Time to beat the regional power champion. But in this heat number 2, in lane 2 we have Dexter, lane 1 Joseph, lane 2 Dean, lane 3 Daniel, lane 4 William, lane 5 Alfie, lane 6 Samuel, lane 7 Timothy, lane 8 Alfie, and in lane 9 is Owen. A lot of these swimmers will be limiting their breathing. Head down, last 5 meters. Who's going to get a touch here? And it is Timothy, 26.71. Second goes Daniel Roberts. Third, William Lancashire. Great effort by them swimmers. And I can tell you that Owen Tempest there, 29.25, does become our regional champion in the 50-meter freestyle. So well done to Owen. Second is Joshua, and then third will be Harvey. Great effort by the swimmers there, but heat number 3 now well underway. Lane 0 Joseph, lane 1 Geffen, lane 2 Harry, lane 3 William, lane 4 Axel, lane 5 Matthew, lane 6 William, lane 7 Jamie, lane 8 Toby, and then lane 9 is Tom. Always exciting watching the 50-meter freestyle. Start, swim speed, finish, all has to be on point. William Wilson there gets a touch, 26.71. Faster than his entry time there. Well done, William. Second, Axel, and then fourth, third, Jamie there. All under 27 seconds. Well done there. Heat number 4 now. So lane 0, Demi Lady, lane 1, Conan, lane 2, Vlad, lane 3, Carol, lane 4, Oliver, lane 5, Harry, lane 6, Will, lane 7, Ryan, lane 8, James, and lane 9 is Luke. A lot of these swimmers challenging themselves, doing multi 50 meters. This morning we have had 3 50-meter races so far this morning. This is the third and final one. Who's going to get the touch here? Oliver Clayton Smith, 26.17. Second, Harry Clinkard, 26.3. Third does go to Conan Swinney, 26.36. Great effort by them swimmers there. Certainly the top 3 matching, if not going quicker than their entry time there. Well done. Another full heat in this 50-meter freestyle in heat number 5. Lane 0 Kai, lane 1 Quinton, lane 2 Lewis, lane 3 Sam, lane 4 Fergus, lane 5 Oliver, lane 6 Tinier, lane 7 Devon, lane 8 Christian, lane 9 Matteo. And it looks as though the golden lanes are out in front. It looks a little bit like the arrow formation that we have in swimming. Lane 4 looks as though he's going to take it, and he does. Fergus, 25.46, lane number 4 swimmer. Lane 2 is Oliver, 25.60, and lane 6, Tinier, 25.92. Also in lane 0, Kai going under 26 seconds as well. So we are starting to break that 26 barrier now. So this is the first of the cycle seeded heat already. Heat number 6. Lane 0, Daniel. Lane 1, Lewis. Lane 2, Jacob. Lane 3, Oliver. Lane 4, Ethan. Lane 5, Elliot. Lane 6, Dylan. Lane 7, James. Lane 8, Max. And in lane 9 is Alexander. The third fastest entrant into this event is going to take the win by an incredible distance in front of the rest of the field. Ethan Balin, 23.64, breaking that 24-second barrier there. He is currently the fastest we have seen so far, challenging the remaining heat. Second, Oliver Winter, 24.16. And in third was Elliot Arnold, 24.32. Second of the cycle seeded heats, heat number 7. We have one swimmer missing from lane 5, but lane 0 Harry, lane 1 Samuel, lane 2 Oliver, lane 3 Thomas, lane 4 Matthew, lane 6 James, lane 7 Sam, lane 8 David, lane 9 Jamie. Matthew Rooney second fastest entrant into this event. We'll be looking to post a very quick time to get himself in the centre lane for this evening. But touching first is Thomas Sumner there. 24.02. Matthew Mooney very close behind there. 1/100th of a second, very close. 24.03. Third goes to James from the City Leads, 24.60 in heat lane number 6. Now move straight on to the final heat of this event, heat number 8. Lane 0, we have Charles, lane 1 Jamie, lane 2 Philip, lane 3 Harry, lane 4 Jordan Cooley, lane 5 Sam, lane 6 Harry, lane 7 Thomas, lane 8 Gareth, and lane 9 Thomas. Fastest entrant into this event is Jordan Cooley. Having a great race with him though is Harry Nicholson from Newcastle, but it looks as though that Jordan Cooley will take the touch. He went to feet there, so practicing maybe opening 50 of his 100 metres, 23.60. Second does go to Harry Nicholson, 23.63. Third, Sam Smith, 24.15. We'll definitely see these swimmers move into the open final this evening. Great effort by all the swimmers there. Well done. We now move on to the female 50 metre freestyle, event 312. Heat number 1. Right, full heat in this heat number 1. Lane 0 Sky, lane 1 Jasmine, lane 2 Stephanie, lane 3 Freya, lane 4 Elizabeth, lane 5 Ava, lane 6 Evie, lane 7 Maisie, lane 8 Josie, and lane 9 Lucy. We have 7 para athletes in this race in lane 0, 1, 2, 7, 8 and 9. But out in front, it's going to be close. Lane 4 gets to touch 29.73. Second, Freya Beach, 29.7. Third, Ava Turner, 29.8. Stephanie Booth just touched there, the S10 swimmer, in a time of 34.89. Mason Cat, 40.97. Jasmine, 41.09. 8. Josie Johnson back again, 45.59. Sky touching there, 52.81. Lucy Scott now coming into the finish, 58.87. A wide range of classifications there. So not necessarily about who touches the wall first in that heat for the para athlete. It's all based on the British classification points. Swimmers trying to get as close as they can to their world record in their classification. World record equals to 1,000 points. The closer they are to that world record time, the more points they will get close to that 1,000. But these athletes in there have been regional medalists, which is fantastic to see. Swimmers getting over 700 classification points. Certainly approaching world-class standards. So great racing by our para athletes there in the 50 metre freestyle. Now move on to heat number 2 though. Lane 0 Charlotte, lane 1 Emma, lane 2 Chanel, lane 3 Olivia, lane 4 Isabel, lane 5 Molly, lane 6 Emily, lane 7 Amy, lane 8 Lily, and then lane 9 is Emily. Fastest time 29.08, 29.33. So again, expect this to be a very close heat swim, but I think it is going to be lane 4, 28.77 under that 29-second barrier. Great achievement there by Isabel. Second does go to Amy, 29.08, very close breaking that 29-second barrier. Third goes to Olivia Rowan, 29.27. Results not yet confirmed on our scoreboard, and they now have been confirmed. 28.77, the winning time there by Isabel from Harrogate. Heat number 3 again, another full heat. So in lane 0 we have Olivia, lane 1 Georgina, lane 2 Victoria, lane 3 Greta, lane 4 Zara, lane 5 Emily, lane 6, Kiara. Lane 7, Tyler. Lane 8, Darcy. And lane 9, Emily. Going out really strong is the swimmer in lane 4, Zara Hall from Tadcaster. Going with her though is the swimmer in lane 3, that is Greta from Northumberland Durham Performance. It's going to be very close at the finish though. It is Zara that gets it 28.73. Greta followed closely behind in 28.80. Third, lane 1, 29.14. Great effort by these swimmers there. Faster than their entry times. Now move on to the first of the cycle seeded heats. There are only 6 heats in this 50-metre freestyle. Full heat again. Lane 0, Kira. Lane 1, Lily. Lane 2, Anna. Lane 3, Alex. Lane 4, Isabel. Lane 5, Laura. Lane 6, Annabelle. Lane 7, Charlotte. Lane 8, Emily. And in lane 9 is Isabella. Again, these swimmers will be looking to limit their breathing as much as they can in this 50-metre freestyle. Get their head down, really accelerate on their stroke rate. It's going to be really close at the touch here, but it is going to be lane 4, Isabel Farmer from Berwick. He's 27.61. Second goes to the swimmer in lane 2, Anna Finley, 27.90. First time under 28 seconds there. Annabelle Hart, 28.02 from Harrogate. Great racing in the first of the cycle seeded heats. 2 swimmers under that 28-second barrier. We'll keep an eye on that to see if that will make it through to the open final. But in heat number 5, we have Madeline in lane 0, lane 1, Macy, lane 2, Phoebe, lane 3, Honey, lane 4, Charlotte, lane 5, Elizabeth, lane 6, Georgina, lane 7, Katie, lane 8, Jessica, and in lane 9 is Emily. Second fastest entrant into the 50-metre freestyle is Charlotte Berry from the City of Sheffield. A very commanding lead on this 50-metre freestyle hit, and she does take the touch. 27.02, the winning time in that heat. Second, Georgina Wright, 27.36. Third, Elizabeth Land, 27.64. Top 3 swimmers, all under 28 seconds. So we've had 5 swimmers so far under the 28-second mark. Can we get another 5 more? And that will be a sub 28-second open final there. Last heat now, heat number 6, lane 0, Emily, lane 1, Libby, lane 2, Eliza, lane 3, Olivia, lane 4, Emma, lane 5, Emily, lane 6, Annabelle, lane 7, Flora, lane 8, Jasmine, and lane 9, Millie. And a really strong start from Emma Wood, the City Elite swimmer, a body length ahead of the rest of the field, using that starter advantage. 26.89, under 27 seconds. Second, Emily Maxwell, 27.96, another swimmer under that 28 seconds, so she will be in that open final this evening. Third, Olivia Humphrey, 28.40. So those swimmers that went under 28 seconds certainly in that open final this evening. Those close to 28.0 will potentially make it as well. It's going to be a really close final there, but an impressive swim from Emma Wood to conclude that 50-metre freestyle heat, the only athlete to go under that 27-second mark. Looking forward to that final later this evening, that's for sure. Right, now move on to event 313, back to the scoreboard end. The open male 200-metre individual medley. We have 7 swimmers in this first heat. So in lane 1 we have Harvey Stonebank back again from Richmond Dale. Lane 2, Joshua Gill also back again from Cleethorpes. Lane 3, Leighton Lavelle from Durham City. Lane 4, Owen Carmody from the City of Leeds. In lane 5, Mateo Ciescu from the City of Leeds. Lucas Lee from Durham Valley. In lane 6, lane 7, Owen Tempest from the City of Leeds as well. So we have the SM14 swimmers in lanes 1, 2, 6 and 7. Since it's all SM14 para-athletes in this heat, this will be whoever touches first does become our regional champion. Second and third will be our medalists. All of them certainly in the top 5, if not medals in a variety of events. But out in first is Owen Carmody from the City of Leeds, 107.78. Second, Mateo from City leads as well, 1:10.32. Third is Leighton, 1:10.59. However, Leighton, we know, has a very strong breaststroke. As you can see on your screen, Leighton was the 100-metre breaststroke youth champion. So expect to see Leighton really pull away strongly on this breaststroke leg. But Owen is still out in front. He's holding his stroke well on the breaststroke. Again, breaststroke so key in the individual medley. It can make or break that race. Owen still touching first, Leighton touching second. Had the fastest split there, 42.91. Owen breathing towards where Leighton is, so he knows exactly where he is. Leighton breathing towards Owen too. Bilateral breathing there by Leighton. But no doubt who's going to be your heat winner here. Owen from the City leads. Head down, last 5 metres, great discipline shown in this 200 metres individual medley, 2:25.37. Second, Matej come home really strongly on that freestyle, 2:28.09. Third, Leighton, 2:28.68. Right, let's have a look at our para swimmers in this event. Lucas Lee, 2:43.23. Outside of his entry time. Very close battle between lane 2 and 7 then. Joshua Gill, 2:52.76. Untempest, 2:53.69. Harvey Stonebank, 2:57.44. The results are confirmed, so Lucas Lee will be your regional para champion in this 200 metres individual medley. Silver will go to Joshua Gill. Bronze will go to Owen Tempest. Adding to his gold medal in the 50-metre freestyle moments ago. Great racing by our para athletes at the regional championships. Now moving on to heat number 2. There's no swimmer in lane 0, so we will start from lane 1, William Morley from Bradford Grammar School. Then we've got 4 athletes from Northumberland Durham Performance in lanes 2 through to 5. So that is Jack Wilkinson in lane 2, lane 3, Aaron McGee, lane 4, Adam Makel, lane 5, Maximus Davanis, lane 6, Matthew Sitch from Kingston upon Hull, lane 7, William Oliver, Northumberland Durham Performance as well. Lane 8, Jacob O'Donnell, City leads, and in lane 9, Zachary Helm from York City. Out for first is Adam Makel. We know Adam is a really strong fly swimmer, getting medals in the butterfly races, so he's using the butterfly to his advantage. Still holding really strongly on the backstroke leg here. Also going really well is William Morley in lane 1. Will be Adam Makel that touches first, 106.43. William Morley second. Matthew Sitch in lane 6 is in third. Now the key leg in any individual medley race, the breaststroke. If you have a really strong breaststroke here, you are setting yourself up really well on that freestyle. Who has the strongest breaststroke in this heat? And at this moment in time, it looks like William Morley in lane 1 from Bradford Grammar School. He's certainly pulled away from the rest of the field. A body length clear. He was second at the wall after the backstroke. Now first by body length. 43.65 split there, but the fastest split was the swimmer in lane 9. That's Zachary Helm. So he certainly made some ground on that breaststroke. So you need to carry that momentum through that you have created on the breaststroke into the freestyle. William Morley still out in front, but he's breathing away from the rest of the field. He has no idea where Aaron McGee is or Adam Makel. Adam Makel head down now, last 5 metres. Who's going to get the touch? Adam Makel gets a touch in a 31.6 split on the last 50 of the freestyle, 2:25.12. Second is William Morley, 2:25.42. Aaron McGee, a really strong last 50 on the freestyle, 2:25.76. Great swimming by the swimmers here. certainly second and third improving on their entry time there. Moving on now to heat number 3. Now there is a huge City of Leeds contingent in heat number 3. So in lane 0 we have Northumberland Durham Performance, Harry Douglas. In lane 1, Samuel Hill, City Leeds. His teammate Hayden Lamb in lane 2. Again in lane 3, William Wilson. Lane 4, Patrick O'Hara. As well from the City Leeds, lane 5, Charlie Ward. Back again, Northumberland Durham Performance. We then have another 2 City Leeds athletes in lane 6 and 7. Lane 6 is Conor McCullen. Lane 7, Ethan Cowell. Lane 8, Harry Whitfield Darlington. And lane 9, Thomas Hill from the Borough Kirklees. A lot of these swimmers have competed in a wide range of events so far at these regional championships. We've also seen many finalists from this heat and also youth medalists. Again, these swimmers will be trying different events to make themselves have busy schedules over the couple of weeks at the Aquatics GB Next Gen Championships in the summer and the Swim England National Summer Meet the week after. The more events these swimmers do, the more they are trying to have busy schedules over the 2 weeks. Out first though is Samuel Hill from the City Leeds. Second at this moment in time is Charlie Ward from Northumberland Durham Performance. Strong breaststrokes coming through in lanes 3 and 4 though. That is William Wilson and Patrick O'Hara. But I still think it is Samuel Hill out ahead. He certainly is. After the breaststroke, he will touch first. Going into the final 50 metres on the freestyle. Second, William Wilson now. Strong breaststroke leg there. Third is Charlie Ward still. Right, what have these swimmers have got left on this freestyle? They want to try and put themselves in that 16 years and under final later this evening, if not the open final, to hopefully get themselves a medal. Samuel Hill breathing away from the rest of the field, but William Wilson spotted Samuel Hill and he's overtaken him there. Patrick O'Hara looks to get second, and he does, but William Wilson with the touch 2:18.98. Faster than his entry time, under the 2:20 mark for the first time. He seems delighted with that. Patrick O'Hara in second, 2:19.59. Faster than his entry time as well. Samuel Hill 2:20.14. Also improving on his entry time, so great racing from the top 3 swimmers there. First time breaking 2:20 though for William Wilson. He's done everything he possibly can to get him in a chance of finals this evening. Another full heat for you in store in heat number 4. Lane 0, Dylan Hill, Kingston Pond Hull. Lane 1, Luke Littler, Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 2, Matthew James, City Leeds. Lane 3, Taylor Horseman from Tadcaster. Lane 4, Jack Philpott from Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 5, Arthur Owens from the City Leeds. Lane 6, David Hope, Brington. Lane 7, Oliver Steele, City Leeds. Lane 8, Robert Shipley, Middlesbrough. And lane 9, Joseph Pickering from the Kingston Upon Hull. And is Joseph Pickering out first after the butterfly 50. Second, Jack Philpott. The swimmers are practically almost in a straight line there. Looking really strong though on the backstroke is Oliver Steele from the City Leeds. I wonder if backstroke is his strength here. Trying to give himself enough momentum to build into the breaststroke. You'll see a lot of these swimmers trying different backstroke to breaststroke turns. Either a touch turn, a crossover, or the flip turn, the back flip turn. Right, now we're into the breaststroke. Who has the strongest breaststroke to set themselves up really well on the freestyle? Straight line there in 0, 1, 2, 4, 6. Now 8's coming into the picture. That is Robert Shipley from Middlesbrough. Really strong breaststrokes onshore in the outside lanes and in the centre. That is Jack Philpott there. Oh, it's going to be really close heading into this final 50 metres, but it is Robert Shipley touches first, second, Oliver Steele third, Jack Philpott. Right, what have these swimmers got left on the freestyle? These swimmers are unilateral breathers. A couple of them bilaterally breathing. Great head-to-head between lane 7 and 8, but they are breathing away from each other, so I don't know if they know where each other are, but they can sort of sense it. Jack Philpott breathing away from lane 7 and 8, but he's looking towards where lane 0 is. But it is lane 7, Oliver Steele 2:17.48 that gets a touch second. Robert Shipley 2:18.12 third. Does go to Dylan Hill from lane 0, 2:19.48. Great effort by the swimmers there. Great racing all around to conclude heat number 4 of the open male 200 metre individual medley. As we move now on to the first of the cycle seeded heats, heat number 5. Third fastest entrant to this event is Lewis Maxwell from Northumberland Durham Performance. And I will give you the full list of names as they are underway. Again, another full heat in this 200 metres individual medley on this bank holiday Monday morning. So we have in lane 0 Alexander Whittle from Newcastle, lane 1 his teammate Ethan Williams, and again in lane 2 Jasper Hall also from Newcastle. Lane 3 Peter McGrover from Northumberland Durham Performance, his teammate Lewis Maxwell. Lane 4 again in lane 5 Jacob Barnett, as well as Matthew Dave in lane 6. Lane 7 Andrew Hunter from Cleethorpes, he's having a cracking weekend so far. Lane 8 Conan Swinney also from Northumberland Durham Performance, and in lane 9 Zach Bourne Withington from Kingston upon Hull. We know that Zach is the bronze medalist in the 400 metres individual medley. He also had a great 200 metre breaststroke final last night. But out in front so far is Lewis Maxwell from Northumberland Durham Performance. Almost a couple of body lengths ahead of the rest of the field. He's doing the crossover turn on the backstroke to breaststroke. 1:83 first 100. Second is Peter McGrover. Third, Jacob Barnett. Now we're on to the breaststroke. Lewis has built himself a really good lead after the backstroke and the butterfly. Let's see what everyone's breaststrokes are like. Almost the perfect arrow formation that you can see here in your picture. Jacob Barnett and Peter McGrover catching up to Lewis though, but it's still a body length clear. Lewis Maxwell heading into the freestyle. These swimmers want to post a good time to get themselves into the open final this evening, so they will do enough to place themselves in the centre lanes. But no doubt about who is going to be your winner in heat number 5, Lewis Maxwell. In a time of 2:10.44, very good heat swim from Lewis there. Second, Jacob Barnett, 2:12.26. Third, Peter McGrover, 2:14.27. Very solid heat swims by the swimmers there. Again, great racing all around. Swimmers doing everything they can to get themselves in the open final later this evening, if not this 16 years and under. Thing about being in the first of the cycle season heat, you want to post a good time to make sure the next couple of heats after them are aware of what they are capable of. So we have no swimmer in lane 3, but we have in lane 0 Solomon Kendrick, City of Sheffield. Lane 1 Owen Reid, Middlesbrough. Lane 2 Matthew Scott from Newcastle. Lane 4 Charlie Broom, City Leeds back again. Lane 5 Benjamin Dealwood from First. Lane 6 Thomas Wolfenden from the City Leeds. Lane 7 Oliver Bradley Cleethorpes. Lane 8 Patrick Neal from the City Leeds, and lane 9 Matthew Bradley from Cleethorpes. Again, we've seen a lot of these athletes compete before at these regional championships, testing themselves in a wide range of events, not just going for times, but also looking to become regional champion, medalist or finalist. But again, a lot of these athletes really testing themselves, seeing what they are capable of. But it is Charlie Broom out first, under a minute, first 100. Second, Benjamin Dalewood. Third was Matthew Scott. Excuse me, Solomon Kendrick, City of Sheffield. Now in that third position on the breaststroke. Who's got the strongest breaststroke? Coming up, Charlie Broom had a very commanding lead after the first 100. Set himself up well into this breaststroke leg. And he will turn first with a body length lead. 1:39.81, a 40.5 split on the breaststroke. Second, Benjamin Dalewood. He had a 39.5 split on the breaststroke, the fastest split out of everyone in the field. But Charlie Broom breathing towards where Benjamin Dalewood is, so he knows exactly where he is in this race. Solomon Kendrick, though, at the bottom of your screen, having a really good swim, but he's breathing away from everyone. So don't know if he knows where he is at this moment in time, but Charlie Broom will get the touch, 2:09.51. Second, 2:12.91 to Benjamin Dalewood from first. Third is Solomon Kendrick, 2:16.70, and a very close battle there, the fourth, fifth and sixth. Very good times though indeed. Charlie Broom setting the fastest time so far. 2:09.51. Time to beat for our final heat. In heat number 7, we have no one in lane number 4, so the fastest entrant is not here at this moment in time. But in lane 2 we have James Dobney from the City of Sheffield. Lane 1, Lewis Holden from Beverley Barracuda. Lane 2, Thomas Smith from Richmond Dale. Lane 3, Benjamin Beale, Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 5, Simon Robson from York City. Lane 6, Nicholas Land, Newcastle. Lane 7, Samuel Naylor, City of Bradford. Lane 8, Ryan Mills, Middlesbrough. And in lane 9 is Quinn Austin Kelly from Skipton. Out really strong is lane 1, Lewis. After the butterfly, we saw him early before in the 50 metres butterfly, so he's using that butterfly as his strength. In the 200 IM, you don't want to take that butterfly out too hard. Again, it's all about easy speed, that first 50, making the flies quickly and as comfortably as possible so you have enough energy towards the end. For the breaststroke and freestyle, as we are approaching to now, Simon Robson touches first after the backstroke. We know that Simon has a really good breaststroke because he was our bronze medalist in the 100 metre back breaststroke, excuse me. But it is Simon out in front ahead of the rest of the field. He is now the fastest seed into this final heat. So we expect Simon to be out strong. Second, looks as though it is between Benjamin Beale and Lewis after the strong start he has created from the butterfly. But Simon, a good couple of body lengths clear from second place. Ben Beale gets the touch there. As we approach now on the final 50 metres, Lewis breathing towards Ben. Ben breathing towards the other side of the field, so he doesn't know where Lewis is. But it will be Simon Robson that comes in to touch the wall. 2:09.30, so Charlie Broom was 2:09 also in the previous heat. Second does go to Benjamin Beale, 2:13.97. Third, Lewis, 2:15.38. So the fastest in the last 3 heats are certainly our fastest 3 heading into this evening's final. Benjamin 2:09 to 2:10. But we'll keep an eye out on who will qualify in that open age group. How many 16 years and under in that open final. As always, how the medals are distributed to these regional championships. Have 2 sets of medals. We have our open medalists, so any age in the top 3 will get the gold, silver and bronze. Then we will hand medals out for the top 3 of the 16 years and under. If them swimmers are in the 16 years and under in the open final. From what they posted from the heats, they will get the priority of getting them youth medals. So for example, if we have 3 16 years and under in the open final, they will be guaranteed the gold, silver and bronze if all goes to plan, even if a 16-year and under in the youth final goes quicker than them. It's all about positioning in the heat, so the 16 years and under are looking to try and get themselves in that open final so they can get a medal in the event. But we now move on to event 314, the female 200 metre individual medley. In lane 3 we have Sky Fleming back again, the SM6 athlete from Richmond Dales. Lane 4, Jamie Lee Moore from Cleethorpes, and in lane 5 is Darcy Blaker from the City of Leeds. It does look to be Darcy. First 100 metres down. She does the back flip turn, and so does Jamie. Making sure that you really tuck your knees in, close to your chest, in order to turn really quickly on that flip turn. Sky Fleming currently on her backstroke leg right now. We have no other para athletes in this female 200 metre individual medley, so Sky Fleming will be our regional para champion in this event. Sky Fleming racing a lot so far this weekend. She'll be looking to get as close as she can to her entry time of 5:04.19. So that indicates to me that is her long course best time. But looking at the lanes 5 and 4, Darcy and Jamie. Darcy had a great breaststroke leg there to get herself building momentum on the freestyle. Last 15 metres to go. Showing a 6-beat leg kick on the freestyle. And it will be Darcy now. Last 5 metres. Touches the wall in a time of 2:36.61. Great heat swim from Darcy. Jamie there, 2:43.06. They were both entered on the same time actually, 2:34.40. But that looks as though that's a short course conversion to me, but I could certainly be wrong. Mentioning before about short course conversions. If swimmers would have qualified either long course or they can qualify short course for these regional championships, so they would take the fastest time into these regional championships. So that could very well be long course personal best times for our top 2. But as we look now at Sky Fleming on your screen, the SM6 athlete from Richmond Dales. Sky Fleming has had a very busy weekend so far. SM6, meaning that is her individual medley classification. SM6. So SM1 to SM10 are for those athletes with physical impairments. SM11 to SM13 are those with visual impairments, and S14 is for those athletes with intellectual impairments. But we see Sky now turning for the final time, 4:13.86. Sky will need to go around 50 seconds to beat her long course best time. Breathing every 5 here. Great discipline on shore, breathing every 5. Very tough to do at the end of a 200 metre individual medley. already seen Sky race this morning as she now approaches to the final stages of this 200 metre individual medley. Last 10 metres to go or so. Under the flags, 5 metres to go. Great appreciation from the crowd here inside Ponds Forge International Sports Centre as she touches the wall in a time of 5:19.20. Great effort from Sky. Again, one of the para athletes having a really, really busy weekend this weekend at our regional championships. Well done to Sky Fleming, that is confirmed. Sky will be our para regional champion in the 200 metres individual medley, so well done to Sky there. Let's move on now to heat number 2. Now moving on now to heat number 2. We have a full heat on my start list. In lane 1 we have Jessica Whittle from Newcastle, lane 2 Molly Scott Northumberland Performance, lane 3 Katie Pink from Middlesbrough, lane 4 Sophia Caseup from Kingston upon Hull, lane 5 Amit Maltz from Harrogate, lane 6 Amelia Stratford from Rotherham Metro, lane 7 Jasmine Lumley from City Sheffield, lane 8 Neve Blacker from Newcastle, and in lane 9 is Felicity Oliver from Northumberland Durham Performance. Out in a great lead after the butterfly leg is Molly Scott from Northumberland Durham Performance. Really using the butterfly and backstroke to her advantage for this first 100 metres as she turns now in first position, 1:10.65. Second Katie Pink from Middlesbrough, 1:12.70, and in third position is Felicity. Right, who's got the strongest breaststroke legs to set themselves up really well for the freestyle? Does seem as though that Molly Scott is out in front after the first 25 metres of the breaststroke. Going really well as well is Amit Maltz from Harrogate. She's catching up to where Molly is. They'll not know where each other are, but they will certainly know where each other are when they go to the freestyle. So it is Amit that touches first. 1:56.83, 43 free split there. Molly Scott still in second, so Molly is breathing towards Amit, and Amit is breathing towards Molly. So they know exactly where they are now as we approach the final 50 of the freestyle. Last 25 metres to go. They know exactly where each other are. Molly breathing towards the field, but also coming back really strongly is Katie Pink from Middlesbrough in lane 3. But it looks to be that Amit has done enough to take the win in heat number 2. 2:33.84 second does go to Molly Scott, 2:34.63 and third Katie Pink with a strong freestyle at the finish there, 2:35.10. Very good heat times this morning from these athletes. They have certainly raced a lot this morning and all weekend, so there will be some tired bodies on this Monday morning. So it's all about how these swimmers have rested, recovered. To finish our regional championships off really, really well. So we have no swimming in lane 8 in heat number 3. But I'll go through the names for you. Lane 0, Millie Rivers, Durham City. Lane 1, Amelia Redfern, Skipton. Lane 2, Nadine Wilson, Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 3, Elizabeth Dixon, City Leeds. In lane 4, Lucy Rafer from Northumberland Durham Performance. Lane 5, Mabel Robertson from the City Sheffield. Lane 6, Chloe Beverton from Northumberland Durham Performance. And then we have in lane 7, Amaya Waters from Harrogate. And in lane 9, Scarlett Dean, also from Harrogate. touching first after the butterfly leg is Nadine Wilson. We saw Nadine Wilson before in the 200 meters backstroke where she won her heat. Tough double to do, 200 meter backstroke into the 200 meter individual medley. A lot of these swimmers have also done that double this morning. But a very close battle in the centre lanes, 4, 5 and 6. After the backstroke, going into the breaststroke. Lucy taking the touch, 1:10.27. Second, Chloe Brotherton, 1:10.4. And Mabel, 1:10.5. Right, who's got the fastest breaststroke here in this individual medley? Again, the key leg in the individual medley, both in the 200 and the 400. Swimmers working really hard on this breaststroke. But it does seem that Lucy is still out in front, but right there next to her is Mabel Robertson from the City of Sheffield. I think they're practically going to touch at the same time to go on the freestyle. Mabel just touching in front, 44-4 split there, 45-0 split from Lucy. Lucy and Mabel battling it out for that first position, but it looks as though that Lucy's building that momentum through, breathing every free on this freestyle, but also having a great swim in lane 7 is Amaya from Harrogate. Amaya breathing towards the golden lanes, but also breathing on the opposite side as well, so a bilateral breather there. Lucy, though, going to take the touch in a time of 2:29.87, under the 2:30 barrier. Again, she's got to be very pleased with that. Second is Amaya Waters with a really strong finish there from lane 7 on that freestyle. 2:31.92, improving on her entry time and long course best time there. Mabel Robertson, 2:32.08 in third. Right on top of her entry time as well. Her long course time that she's entered on. Great race, and again, swimming's really stepping up at these regional championships, which is fantastic to see. We have a full heat in heat number 4 now. So we have in heat number 4, lane 0, Matilda Smith, Northumberland Durham Performance, lane 1, Naomi Broadley, City Wakefield, lane 2, Alice Ward, Northumberland Durham Performance, lane 3, Rose Keefe, City Wakefield, lane 4, Isabel Monarch, Northumberland Durham Performance, in lane 5, Scarlett Capaldi, Northumberland Durham Performance as well, lane 6, Lacey Grayson from Rotherham Metro, lane 7, Jessie Booth, City Sheffield, lane 8, Amelia Barrett, Tad Castor, lane 9, Hannah Bettinson, back again from Stokesley. We know that Hannah has a really strong breaststroke. She's medalled in our breaststroke event, so expect her to come out really strongly on that breaststroke leg of the individual medley. But it's practically a line of swimmers from lanes 3 through to 7 here after the fly into the backstroke now. It looks as though that it is lane number 3, that is Rose Keefe from the City Wakefield, that will touch first, and she does. Great crossover turns on display for you here. Very tough turn to do, mind you, the crossover. But a lot of the top athletes in the world, you will see at the World Championships, the World and the Olympic Games, they do the crossover because that is the quickest turn to do in the individual medley. But it is lanes 3 and 4 having a great battle here on the breaststroke. Also going really well in lane 5, that is Scarlett Capaldi, as well as the swimmer in lane 1, Naomi Broadley. Naomi has swam a lot this weekend recently, but it's Isabel Monarch that touches first after the breaststroke. We know Isabel had a strong breaststroke there because she's been in a lot of breaststroke races, these regional championships, and performing really well. So she's using that momentum she built in the breaststroke onto the freestyle, breathing every free, so she's looking to both sides to see where her competitors are. She knows exactly where she is in the race, so she'll want to put up a really good time to see if she can make that open final later this evening. Entered on a time of 2:30.18, and she destroys that to go under 2:30 for the first time, 2:28.96. Great swim from Isabel Munich. She seems absolutely delighted with that one. Second is Rose Keep, 2:31.04. Third did go to Naomi Broadley, 2:31.26. Great race, and again by the swimmers, right on their best times, close to their entry times, which possibly could be a short course conversion, so it could definitely be long course PBs, which the swimmers will be taking note of as we approach to heat number 5. The first of the cycle seeded heats now. Top 30 entrants in the 200 metre individual medley have been split up into the cycle seeded. So Shola Robinson there in the middle lane was the third fastest entrant of our regional championships. But starting from lane 0, Molly Norton from the City Leeds, lane 1, Sophia Kelly Tadcaster, lane 2, Amelia Wright Harrogate, lane 3, Lily Stansfield Harrogate, lane 4, Shola Robinson, as we mentioned before, the third fastest entrant into the regional championships. From the City Sheffield, lane 5, Neve Savoury from Newcastle, lane 6, her teammate Elizabeth Land, also from Newcastle. Lane 7, Poppy Nutman, Bury Kirklees, lane 8, Katie Coventry from Northumberland Durham Performance. And lane 9, Kira Binns back again for another race from Doncaster Darts. Again, seeing a lot of swimmers. Names again. 200 IM, a great race to compete in. Shola Robinson out first, 105.2. Second, Elizabeth Lamb, 107.6. Third, Lily Stansfield, 108.8. Again, the centre lanes, multiple regional finalists, multiple regional medalists, if not champions across the youth and open age groups, all coming to this event, the 200 metre individual medley. But it is Shola Robinson out in front by quite some way now. She will touch first 40.98 split after the 50 metre breaststroke. Shola will know exactly where she is in this race. She'll be wanting to post a really quick time to put the next couple of heats under pressure. Second, Lily Stansfield, the 15-year-old, looking to see if she can get in that open age group final to potentially get herself a guaranteed medal in the 16 years and under. Neve Savoury in lane 5 in third position, but it will be Shola Robinson, 2:19.00, the first swimmer we have had under the 2:20 mark. Great swim from Shola there. Second, Lily Stansfield, 2:27.26. Neve Savoury in third, 2:28.32. They're your top 3 in the first of the cycle seeded heats. Great racing by the swimmers there, and that result is confirmed on the scoreboard in our venue. As we move now on to heat 6. Full heat in this event now for heat number 6. So we have got in lane 0 Erin Jones from Newcastle, lane 1 Isabel Fox from Northumberland Durham Performance, lane 2 Eve Hibbett from City Sheffield, lane 3 Millie Trelfall from the City Leeds, lane 4 Matilda Potter City Leeds, lane 5 Lois Child Harrogate, lane 6 Sophie Baker City Sheffield, lane 7 Ruby Robinson Tadcaster, lane 8 Gina Warrior from the City Bradford, and lane 9 Phoebe Weverall from Doncaster Darts. Out in front is Matilda Potter. Had a fantastic Aquatics GB Championships in London a few weeks ago. Looking to post really good times here at our regional championships. Also gone out really well is the swimmer in lane 9, that is Phoebe Weverall. Now Phoebe was our silver medalist in the youth category on the 100 metre butterfly, so no surprise there that she took the butterfly out really strong. But it is Matilda Potter out first, second Phoebe Weverall, third Lois Child. Lois Child competing in a wide range of events here at our regional championships, making open finals and youth finals, and also medaling and becoming regional champion in quite a few events so far. But it is Matilda Potter. Very, very strong 400 metre individual medley swimmer. Making finals at the Aquatics GB Championships in the individual medley, so we know Matilda is a very versatile swimmer. Was our regional champion in the 400 metre freestyle last night. Second, Lois Child now, great breaststroke leg from Lois. Third, Sophie Baker from the city of Sheffield. Right, let's have a look now. These swimmers are approaching the freestyle leg of this race. No doubt about who our winner is going to be. 5 metres to go. Great discipline, head down last 5 metres in the heat. 2:21.41 for Matilda Potter. Great heat swim this morning. That should be enough to get herself into that open final. Lois Child second, 2:26.47. Third, Millie Trowfoyle, 2:28.00. As we conclude. Now, unfortunately, Matilda Potter, who's been disqualified, not sure for what for there. So we have a new top three. Lois Child first, Millie Trowfoyle second, Sophie Baker in third. Now on to the final heat of this event, heat number 7. There's no swimmer in lane 4, so in lane 0, Charlotte Salisbury, Newcastle, lane 1, Megan Mills, York City, lane 2, Ella Smith, Northumberland, Durham Performance, lane 3, Ella McDermott, City of Leeds, lane 5, Sarah Talentire, Northumberland, Durham Performance, lane 6, Gabby Freeman, Northumberland, Durham Performance, lane 7, Eloise Herbert from Tadcaster, lane 8, Harry Oldfield, Northumberland, Durham Performance, and in lane 9, Matilda Hendon from Tadcaster. Out first is Sarah Talentire. Very strong butterfly swimmer is Sarah Talentire. Medals in the 200 metres butterfly last night. Using that to her advantage, but great backstroke shown from Seren. Also Gabby Freeman, who competed in 200 metre backstroke early before. Alec McDermott, third, 108.30. Right, let's see who has the strongest breaststroke leg in this final heat. Seren, the fastest seed into this heat since lane 4 is absent. As a reminder, this will be the last event before we take a break for this afternoon. Session 5B will start at 1:30 p.m. So make sure you're back in time for that. That will be the 100 metre freestyle and the 800 metre freestyle events. We're now looking at this final heat. Sarah Talentire touched first, followed by Ella McDermott and then Gabby Freeman. These girls will know exactly where they are in this heat, but they will want to post a solid time this morning to guarantee themselves in that open final, potentially in the middle lanes of that race. Final 15 metres to go now. And it looks to be that Sarah Talentire is out in front, but coming up strongly is Ella McDermott as well as Gabby Freeman, so they will be your top three. Sarah Talentire 2:25.99, second Gabby Freeman 2:26.44, third goes to Ella McDermott 2:26.50. We'll just wait for confirmation of those results on our scoreboard, and that is confirmed, that top three. That should be good enough to be through to the open finals. And that concludes session 5A of our Swim England North East Regional Open Youth Championships. I'll be back again for session 5B, where we have the open male 100 metre freestyle, the female 100 metre freestyle, and also the mixed 800 metre freestyle events for session 5B. They will start at 1:30. So got an hour and a half or so break now. So make sure you go and grab a cuppa. We'll see you back then for session 5B. for the final day of the Swimming North East Regional Championships for the opening youth. I've been your commentator, Jay Manners, so far this morning. I'll see you again in around an hour and a half's time.